Okay, what is up, everybody? We are back in the building, man, with some Etheria Restart. I hope you guys have been doing all right, man. We got a lot to get into, dude. We got tons of grinding to do because this game takes nothing but time. We got stuff that's just like actually has had me laughing for like the last 3 hours. Shout out to World Chat in the game. But either way, man, appreciate you guys for coming in. If you are here, definitely make sure you guys like the stream. I would appreciate that so we can get more peeps in here. We are streaming on Twitch and on YouTube, so make sure you guys come through. And the other thing is too, chat, let me tell you something, guys. So I don't think a lot of people actually realize like the type of life I live, right? I am a man of what I preach is exactly what I is just what I do. I do exactly what I tell you to do is the same thing I do, right? So I had to get a new PC. See, it's not even that deep, but I had to get a new PC, bro. And you know what's crazy? Guess what specs I've been playing on this entire time, like streaming, making content. Now, mind you, the current computer I have is probably I've had it for like almost 3 years now. Guess the specs I've had on it this whole time, and nobody would have never known, but it's just point in case, right? The specs are nuts, like in a bad way too. You said World Chat is tripping, bro. World Chat's funny. It is just funny. Me and Simone was in there laughing, yo. They just had me dying. But it's another conversation I'm gonna have with you guys too, because I don't feel like people actually. It's not like I say like it's like, again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's like I feel like people need to listen when I say things, because I was very like intentional on like what words I use, and it's a fact, right? Like I was telling people like, hey, you probably don't want to pull day one if you don't know how you're gonna feel about this character, or if this character isn't really like pushing your account or promoting, grinding on your account. And there's a lot of people that like just aren't satisfied with Lelim right now. Now, the other thing is too, I feel like part of that is a lot of people don't have the actual builds required to make that unit work. And when you hear like terms like full investment, I think people just think lattice. No, dude, I'm talking about gear too, because even respectively so, like the gear that's required for some characters is going to be units that don't require much, and there's going to be units that require a lot more. It's terminology that they use in like E7 is like true builds and stuff like that. Like you got like characters like Rand, like for a long time wasn't recommended that the average player even build that character, because you just need you basically need a perfect gear in order to cleave properly with that character. So there's going to be characters that we're going to get that are going to be like that. And I think perfect example is the situation we're in right now. I feel like Nelu is like super low light investment. And then you have Lelim, who requires way more. So there's just kind of that. Yo, DL Carter, appreciate you for stopping by, fam. Appreciate you, man. Hope everything is going well. You said had to be better than my current build. Bro, I was on like a 30 something, like a 3080, something like that. Yeah, I was on like a 3080. Yo, what's up, Ryan? What's good, Afro? What's good, Curse Stomp? How you guys doing, man? Yeah, I was on like a 30 something, bro. It was pretty bad. So yeah, here we are. Yo, Lord Junior, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? How's everything going, man? Yeah, dude, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. All right, let's see how this run is looking. All right, give me 6. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Imagine that. Dude, this game's drops just bug me sometimes. Dude, like, you know what's so funny? I need this exact drop, this specific thing, this like right here, Fury Kenai, Fury Edge, on a freaking Revelation. And I'll be happy. That's it. That like just give it to me. Like that's all I need. But they said, nah, you can have it on a silence, Why not, right? That makes sense. You said my laptop on 1 HP. I'm depressed. Bro. Hey, listen. My laptop was like I had to actually like that's actually a reason why I wasn't able to like kind of stream. I had to kind of figure out like I haven't even been home really. So I like kind of do my daily video stuff, and then I would like literally was out like figuring out like PC parts and all types of stuff that I wanted to get. So I'm going to AMD now on a Ryzen 7. I think it's can't remember if it was 98 or something up there. So I'm jumping up pretty high. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I was trying to determine if I wanted to build it myself or try to find something as close to just be able to take stuff out if I want to and just have it like pre-built. But yeah, that like was like kind of the whole process, dude. It was just way too much. All right, let me see. I gotta I need to do Cage Rumble. That's kind of annoying. I need to do Ethernet. I need to finish Ember Trek. Okay, yeah, let's do more of this because this is about to reset today. I think at reset. So you said on an AMD 360 or 3600 Ryzen. I think that's still, is that desktop though, crazy? Or is that gaming laptop? Yo, crazy. So I actually, I got a you know what's funny? I got a response from one of the developers and they said, I got to ask another developer. I was dying. I was like, okay. So right now we're getting assigned our regional, like, so I guess like within the game, they have different developers that are in control of like each region. The developer I've been like working with is now taking over the Eastern like region. And so I'm going to have a new developer that I'm going to be in contact with that's going to be in control of like Europe and America servers and stuff like that. And basically just giving all the, I guess, creators and stuff that need whatever we need, whatever answers questions and stuff like that we need is going to be helping us on that side. So yeah, I'm like down to do it. I'm trying to actually do a tournament too. So I'm like going through that whole process. So it's funny though that you brought that up because I definitely like I was waiting for them to say something because I wasn't trying to get anybody's account like, you know, ethered. So they said they should be letting me know like today or tomorrow. But other than that, yeah, I'm down to do it, man, because I definitely want to help a lot of people get their accounts together because now like with Nelu being in the game, Nelu's actually really good, dude. There's a lot of people crapping on her, but they were the top heavy players. So it's like it's kind of like it's like subconscious elitism that like kind of comes with games sometimes, where like when a person gets to a certain point in the game, like certain things are just like kind of by default not good to them because like they already are doing something. So if that unit isn't like coming in and like directly just making it like supreme like 0.2 seconds faster or just like better, stuff gets written off as bad. But for like most casual people and people that are struggling, that character is actually really, really good because she's doing something like I took Yang out and put her in instead. And I know Yang was actually used for a lot of the speed runs, but what she does is actually a lot better because he gives you that turn meter push and he gives the crit rate damage buff. But the only character that's really taking advantage of that is Ramoka at that point, or whoever your DPS is. And so having her on the team, she's actually making it to where you can facilitate getting like more abilities off because she gives you a speed up buff to your entire party. So you actually rotate faster, and then her skill 2 like boosts your attack damager up quicker. So your attack damager can be slower and not have to rely on like, even if you weren't running Freya, you don't have to rely on like trying to rotate her because she could just push her herself. So it's like little stuff like that that makes like a big difference, to be honest. You said, I know I have the gear in the units, not sure what's going on with my run. So I can survive full HP for 5 minutes and then randomly drop dead for no reason. Well, it's a reason because so what happens is that there's probably a gap in between, like where and that's usually what I've noticed with most runs. If there's a gap in between like the layers of your sustain, And most of these bosses ramp. I'm not sure which boss you're referring to, but most of them are ramping in longer fights. So that's including Doki Doki. Like when you get to the last wave, that boss is ramping the entire time. Terramatan ramps the entire time. Aurora ramps the entire time. I think almost all the bosses for the most part have some sort of like undispellable buff that's just ramping. So if you get hit on an off turn for any reason, you have no coverage, you're dead. Because they're so much higher now in their buff. So that's why some fights, it's like, yeah, if you can sustain it, you just got to make sure the coverage like layering is there so that there's not any gaps. Because if they catch you in a gap turn, like, yeah, you're probably gonna get cooked. And that's kind of like in scenarios like, say like you don't get a shield defense up fast enough, and then now you're just taking the brunt of of a full hit or something like that. That can cause that to happen. Yo, what's good, Just Metro? How you doing, fam? Yeah, we just started streaming. Not too long ago. Oh, probably like 10 minutes ago. Hold on, let me see who am I bringing in here. Are we just gonna use Yelly and just call it a day? Yeah, why not? Wait, does somebody not have gear on? Oh, probably. Well, no, it shouldn't be Kachi. I just geared him. Oh, Freya. Okay. Let's see. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do like the new formation system. I kind of wish though, like, and I kind of get it because technically it's the same gear, so it doesn't like go anywhere, but it's at least I guess you can set the formations and it moves the gear for you. But I just gotta, it's like you still at some point got to get every character on their own gear. That's the only thing that's kind of like a thing, I guess. That's Fuchi, Yelly, Freya, but I got Freya's gear kind of split right now. I really don't need. I'm trying to think. What am I farming in the background? It's using Kloss right now, actually. Mocha, Linglo, da da da. Okay, yeah, let's just throw this on her. I just need some gear on her. Yeah, I think that was a bug that some people are having. I got locked out of UVU this rotation for some reason. I was like stuck on this like loading or phase thing, and it wouldn't let me finalize my team. So I'm kind of triggered about that right now. But hey, it's like, what can you do? But somebody confirmed it in the union that happened to them last week. Holden don't got gear on either. What the heck? Yeah, they confirmed that. Do I even need Holden for this? Not really. I'm about to just where's she at? I'm about to just give what's her name some gear. Call it a day. Cause she's bad good. Wait, where the heck is she? Oh, there she is. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna just give her some gear. You said Obel? I could throw Obel in there. Honestly. I just want to see how hard she hits or lets them hit. But yeah, Obel would actually be better for like the CC. So they just don't get to do nothing. But I don't think I picked a debuff either that was like against control. That's Obero. Oh, I gotta test my Obero too, because I forgot they buffed her. I'll just give you this. Why not? Yeah, we'll just throw Obel in there. Why not? Why make this harder than we have to? You said, no, I didn't test her out yet. I haven't had a chance to. I was like I was doing everything under the sun. I was like redoing a lot of my my gear dungeons just so I can like test out different setups. And then I was trying out, what's it called? I was trying to find like, what's her name? Nelu, like testing Nelu out in different content. I haven't built up Lelim yet just because like I already knew that she was going to require a lot, but I'm just like sitting here like, bro, I just don't even have the resources to really build her the way I want to. So I'm gonna probably have to wait to do that. You said nobody posted anything about her yet, so I've been waiting on you. Listen, okay, so what I said from the beginning is true, right? A lot of people right now are like, and if you noticed, I think what's happening right now is there are a lot of people that are kind of like, they're looking at the unit and they're like, okay, she's I've seen a lot of mixed reviews so far on her. Like, there's a lot of people that's like she's bad. Then there's a lot of people that's like she's good, but she's more niche. And then there's some people that love her. Like it's really what it is that, yeah, she is a speed DPS, but I don't think a lot of people actually like, and this goes into what I was saying earlier. I'm gonna have a whole video talking about this. I already made it. My editor is editing it right now. People have to get better if they want to play this game, because like even me and Small were talking about it. 80% of the players that came to this game came from games like Hoyo games. So they don't get that, like, you're not just picking a character for PvE or for like zero cycling. You're picking characters according to two different things: PvE utility, PvP utility. And you might get a little bit of both for some characters. Some characters might have a ton in both, like a ton of value in both areas. But it's like, there's that you have to consider. And you also have to think about investment costs and can you pay it, right? And a lot of players can't afford the investment cost of the character. So the character doesn't operate, or they're using, even I would argue, like some of the wrong builds. Like right now, I would say if you want to use her in PvP, you need to have her on like a Fury Harvest build. You're not doing much on a momentum build with her. Her kit literally, and this is why reading is fundamental. Her kit literally says she does more damage to characters at HP over 60%. So if you're trying to build like outside of that, you're not really getting as much value with her in conjunction to the HP ceiling decrease that she has. So it's like little things like that where, like, if you ask like people, do they have a good harvest build? Probably not, because why? The general average build for this game that most people are building into are momentum builds. Momentum is like definitely one of the better builds for PvE across the board right now. So a lot of people are just not gonna have one either invested or actually built. So that's like another thing that some people are running into too. And then on top of that, I feel like she does fall into more niche setups. Like she's more of like, she can do some things in PvE, but she, to me, seems more of like a, honestly, to what is it called? Counteract the issue we're having in the meta, which, like, even that, you're not really affected by that until you're in certain elos, which that's another thing you got to consider. Like, what elo are you in PvP? Because you can't, like, you know, like certain things are just going to like either feel more busted or not as good depending on where you're at. So it's a lot of factors that you have to think about when you're playing a game that also has PvP infrastructured into it. You're not just pulling just to pull. I mean, you can, but if you're expecting to build everything and they give you immediate value, that's just not going to be the case. You said Swift Rush and Harvest clears. That's what I'm running in. White Fang said, which I want to switch, but I did decent in PvP. Yeah, I feel like that's the other thing too. Like there's definitely more testing that needs to be done with her, because there's also the issue of people speaking too soon on the unit. So like they're doing the same thing they did with Yelly the first day she dropped. They're like, oh, we tested her, she's trash. I'm like, and then like 2 days later, they're like, yo, this is the most broken unit in the game. Like, you need to summon her. Like, if you don't summon her, your account's trash. But it's like 2 days ago, you were just telling people not to summon her. So it's like, again, she still ended up being a full investment character. But it's just like one of those things where like, you just have to be more aware. Like, and this is my thing, right? Every video I made was like super intentional. Like I was like, hey, she seems busted on paper, but we still got to wait for testing. I was still telling people, I don't think you should summon for her until you let the whales test them out. It's mad free to play that just went ham and tried to pull her. Because I even had people that weren't, because people love blaming the content creators, but I had players that were like, no, this is a must pull. She's going to be busted. She's going to break the game. She's going to beat everything in the game. I'm like, hey, man, I don't know until I test it. That's what I do for a living. I test things. So until I can test it, I can't give you a for sure answer. It's like, so I feel like there's like, that's another thing that's kind of cooking some people right now. You said POV, they didn't test her. Bro, I'm telling you, that's a lot of the times, that's what it ends up being. Like, And that's even what Smo was saying. Like, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, he's been arguing with people all day. And it's funny because I'm just like, damn, like there's some people with really strong opinions on stuff, and I get it, but like I get like his point of view is like pretty correct. It's just like it's too early to kind of call whether or not a unit is good or not, because like nobody's tested everything with this character yet. The character hasn't even been out for a whole day yet. so it's kind of hard to just be like, oh, this character's trash. And like I said, it's also going to be, it kind of reminds me of Ran, right? Ran is like again, this is like an E7 reference, but when he first dropped, he was a very, very high investment character, but a lot of people just pulled him because he was this cool looking samurai dude and they just wanted him to work in everything. But he ended up being a character that required like crazy gear to work for cleave setups, right? So it's like there's going to be units that exist like that. You said she's taking out more than half the boss HP. So what I've been seeing, and I have seen some crazy stuff with her. A lot of the players I've been talking to have said that they prefer to still use their Hoyan. But I also think like it's fair to say too, Hoyan's scaling is a little bit different. I think Hoyan's scaling is actually better for PvE because she technically gets more of a scaling with the way that her kit works. It's just how you have to get it to work or how you get it to work. The thing with her is that you don't get any value from like the HP ceiling because that doesn't work on bosses. So it's like she can still do stuff. Like, I don't think it's that at all. I just think that it's, again, I think it's just people just don't have the ability to build this character right now. So because you got to think about it, most people right now are still struggling to clear hell. so like when you talk about full build, full investment characters and getting them to that point, like a lot of people just don't have the ability to do it. So that, and I think that that's also kind of where like there's some people that are rage baiting right now too. So it's just like that's also the other thing. He says all about trying out, see what works with what you got. So I'm running White Fang, but I got some laws to build into. I mean, that's the other thing too, right? It's like that's the thing that I think that like as more players, like if they were to stick with this game long term, they're going to just start getting accustomed to making sure that they actually have stuff prepared for when they want to build something, right? Like a lot of the times, like I feel like especially as a free to play, like is it advisable to pull day one for LDs? I don't think so. I don't care how free to play the gacha is. Like, I don't think that's a good idea, like ever. Because to be honest, let's say at the end of the day, Lelim is the worst unit in the game, right? The thing with that is that like now you have this unit on your account as a free to play. You can't do anything about it. You just went. Let's say, for example, the people that have been saving crystals is like, this is finally my time to shine. And they drop almost 30,000 crystals on an LD banner. Do you think they're going to keep playing after that? For the unit to not really be that great for them? Probably not. Like, they're like, and if not, they're just going to feel like they're stuck. Because that's just kind of what it is. So I feel like that's why, even if I have to wait, anytime I play something free to play, if I have to wait 3-4 days to get the proper information I need to make the best decision possible, if I'm looking to be progressing my account or whatever it is, that's what you have to do. That's the other thing. So I like that's just what you have to do. It said those multipliers should do more damage. I mean, to be honest, I'm like thinking about like if she should be, I don't know if she's gonna do more than Hoyan. She should be relatively close, though. Yeah, she should be relatively close. I know they're memeing her right now, and they're saying that freaking Ling Lo does more damage than her, and that's been like that's what I've been laughing at for like the last like 2 hours, because there's literally people saying that right now, and it has me dying. I'm like, yo, what are you guys talking about? They're like, yeah, Ling Lo can do more damage than she can. I'm like, oh, brother. I'm like, don't say that around the wrong person because they're going to believe you. So, used to have Law, Harvest, Fury, and Fury Edge. So, might be good for PvP. I know a lot of people are building her right now into like Bruiser. So, but the thing right now is like, it depends on your elo, man. Like, because in lower elo, she's gonna wreck stuff. Like, I'm being honest. But once you start running into people at higher elos, like a lot of people are building into like Bruiser BS now. So it's just like healing and damage reduction all day. It's mad. It's just mad long. Like, so it really depends on where you're at. Cause even like with the nerf to Revelation, like Revelation and lower elos is still busted. But in some of the higher, you definitely see a big difference. Like in higher elo, there's definitely a big difference with Revelation. But when you're in lower elos, I mean, you could have like 2 Revelations still on the team and still wreck somebody. But that's just also because of like build, investment, stuff like that. So it just depends on where you're at. And that's why I said, like, when you make decisions in these games, you have to determine that. Like, you have to be realistic. Like, where am I at in the game? How much can I invest? Do I have the things to build this character right? You know, am I actually clearing other stuff in PvE right now? Like, does this make sense? Like, I would say it would have made more sense to at least like try to get Nelu and just call it a day for most people, because even for my comp, like they buffed a lot of characters. So those characters that got buffed, I'm not gonna lie, like Ramoka's buff. I'm about to actually try running my Ramoka in PvP and some stuff, because she hits like a freaking mad lady now. Like she was already hitting, like, you know, she obviously hit hard for what she respectively did. But now it's like her damage is kind of, I'm like, damn, like, and with the way that they made Nelu is a little bit, she's kind of sort of like I don't want to say like a great value Lily, but kind of sort of like she kind of sort of is, because she kind of sort of is like, yeah, she's kind of sort of a great value Lily, like, if we're being honest. I think this is immune. Hold on, let me make sure. Immune to dot, taunt. All control effects except dot and taunt. Okay, I'm gonna see if this matters, because I just want the pushback, but I don't. We'll see. But he's a Hellcat buff was wow. He needed it though. He wasn't. Oh my god, it's hitting the wrong person. He wasn't getting as much TLC, to be real with you. Yeah, he wasn't getting as much TLC. So yeah, I feel like I might swap her in, but I'm trying to see something, because I feel like I remember, I'm not even gonna lie, I've been ignoring this like debuff of this tower rotation because it hasn't really been doing anything to me. But I also feel like now it's about to start like beating me into the ground. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oboe doesn't work on this stage. He said I agree, he was my select. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that was the thing. Like, he just needed more TLC, which was like, rightfully so, right? Like he absolutely needed it. Like, and so it was like little things like that. Like, I felt like the buffs they gave were pretty good. And I think like people don't like the comparisons, but I think like certain comparisons are fair. I'm surprised they adjusted as many units as they did, because a lot of games don't actually adjust a lot, or it took them forever to adjust units, right? So I've played some games where it was like, oh damn, yeah, let me just throw a healer in here. I played some games where it was like it took them like 2-3 years to really like have a consistent like balance cycle where you're actually seeing stuff. And what I will say, even though they did adjust Revelation, I'm actually pretty happy they didn't nerf any units. Which, like, I was like, okay, they didn't like nerf anybody. Like, they made, it was majority buffs, right? Like, that was like the thing that I was like, okay, I could kind of rock with that. So yeah, that was like really nice to see. Let me see here. Are we gonna go? I could just throw her in here since I have her. I think I have a build for her too. I'll just throw some gear on her, call it a day. Put a Fortissimo on her. This is why I just gotta build more stuff. It's like you always gotta just build more stuff, bro. Throw you on here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You said I love my Hoden and Rahu buff. Yeah, yo, okay. I wasn't expecting that though. That was like, okay, like I get why, but it's just like I didn't think they were gonna do it. I didn't think that at all. Like, if you would have been like, hey Zox, like who would have been units you would have thought would have gotten or received buffs, I didn't think Hoden was gonna be one. Because Hoden could still one-shot people with his skill too. Like, he still hits hard. Like, it's definitely not a weak unit. So that was actually fairly surprising to me. What's his name? Rahu's just been getting love since the game has come out. This man has only gotten buffs. Like, I just like, dang, dude. Like, they love them some Rahu buffs. They love giving this man a buff. Because even on release, it just felt like he got, like, I was like, yo, what did they buff him for? Like, I don't even feel like he's necessarily a bad, really, honestly. He's just, he's usable in most stuff. So, yeah, like, I feel like, yeah, they gave him some more TLC. I'm not mad at it, though. Let me just throw this on here for the speed. Oh, wait, but you know what? You heal off of your own HP, ma'am. Forgot about that. Let me go ahead and snatch this piece off you, Linglo. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we'll use that. Yeah, that should be all right. We'll see. I'm gonna take you out because you do absolutely nothing here, man. And have a good one. All right. You said dislike leaving Tever in an unplayable state for 2 years before pops. Yo, that's like most games. They do that all the time. Like, is it like even like HSR? Like, I mean, it's not granted, it's not a PvP game, but like they're like just going back and like buffing a lot of their like year 1 units, and the game's been out for a couple years now. So you said yes, I'm sure you did. So they didn't need no buffs, bro. Like those buffs are just so funny to me because I'm just like, all right, well, I guess they getting buffed. You said I wanted Tever so bad till I got him. That's like every shimmer, any game that has an LD or shimmer, you always want them, bro. Like it doesn't matter what game it is, and I think that's the problem. Is just it's gacha, right? Like we really do have an issue with that. That's just gonna be more about self-discipline, because eventually, like the idea in most games, you eventually get everything. I will say that's a pretty fair statement for games like this with how they have the gacha set up. I don't even think getting units is nearly as much of an issue as it is like building them. But even that, like over time, I noticed that the more content I try to force push, the more stuff I'm actually able to do. But the other thing is too, is like I was telling people, I'm like, dude, like I think people like look at certain things like, oh, you're a content creator, so your account has to be busted. I'm like, bro, most stuff on my account's not even fully built. I got terrible speed rolls. I'm getting cooked on speed actually altogether, which is why my speed clear is quite impressive, because I don't have a character that's over. There's like people running like 300 speeds on their threshold dungeon runs. I'm like, bruh, I'm over here with like a 120 something character facilitating my team's rotation. Like that's the thing. Oh crap, I forgot. I forgot about the stage. Hold on. Or this phase. I can't actually hit those or hit the boss. I gotta hit these damn ads first. Yeah. This is what happens when you just like auto everything. You said my highest speed. If I put my fastest gear on my Lily, I think it's my fastest speed. It's like 3 something. See, I just cooked myself because I wasn't targeting properly. I think it's like, damn, what is it? It gotta be probably like 311 maybe? 311? And that's only on one character on my account. But again, when I really think about how much content I actually use my Lily in, I don't actually use her like that. So it's just like, I'll use her in like little stupid stuff like this. Like I'll use her in like tower content stuff. Like I don't be caring, but like for the gear dungeons, because that's like one of the big struggle points for a lot of players. I try to avoid using those characters. Like even for my Doki Doki, like I could have easily used like Mio. I could have used Doki Doki. Could have used Lily on my team. And I was just like, nah, I'll figure it out. And so I was doing, and that's why it was like kind of funny to me. People were like, you're using Remoka. I'm like, bruh, like she's not, like she can do the damage, but she has nothing like on the team that's helping her facilitate her ability to do the damage she needs to do. So, yeah, I mean, like to be honest, like with like Nelu coming out, like that was a pretty big adjustment, because I was using Yang, and Yang got the clear, but now it's like even on anomaly runs where I don't one shot, she still can help the team finish. And Remoka getting buffed on her skill 2, I think kind of sort of raised her value, to be honest. All right, now we gonna nuke this. You said is actually play RTA. I'm gonna be playing more this season. Like a lot of us were talking about that. Like I think me, Shaisizo, like none of us really played as much as we wanted to or should have, just because it was annoying to play. So it's just like not even meta. It was like gear, like having to like worry about your gear and swapping that while still trying to maintain farming and stuff like that was just mad annoying to do. Like, to be honest. Outside of the meta, I'm not really too like much of a stickler with when it's like a certain meta exists, because I don't be caring. I'll play whatever, like I'll play against whatever meta exists at that point in time. But all right, let's see. Give me the kill. Thank you, game. All right, there we go. Now we can actually slap. Oh yeah, the other problem I had too was I was running a what the hell? Why'd you just? Is her attack higher right now for some reason? Like, what is going on? What, Kachi, why'd you just turn meter push Lily? I'm so confused. All right, well, I'm gonna have to deal with you later. That's like, I can't even explain that right now. She probably did have high attack for some reason just now. I don't get that one. Or maybe cooldown, I don't know. He said that's funny because I build Lily and barely use her. Yeah, I mean, like Lily, like don't get me wrong, Lily is good, like she is, but I don't know, I always have had this issue with like just trying to like sit and just make Ooga Booga comps, because part of the problem too with Ooga Booga comps is that like Ooga Booga comps require Ooga Booga gear, and Ooga Booga gear is not something the average player just typically has. So like a lot of people will like set themselves up for failure because they'll like try to do like a certain speed clear and then not realize like, oh, you need like 2 characters over 300 speed to make this work. It's just like, oh, and that character needs how much like lattice investment? Oh, okay. Like, so that's like the big thing for me. Like even my speed clear, like if you look at my gear, I'm not using anyone with any third matrix bonus pieces. And I go second. I don't even go before the enemies do. I go second. So I built my speed clear into taking the hit. And it's like, for me, that like if we're talking about like more realistic speed clears that people can achieve, that's a pretty realistic one. Because I'm literally building a Ramoka with not even 3 matrix bonuses on her momentum build. It's like 2 per slot, and then she's built bulwark. So it's like that's kind of like pretty normy if you're using a character like that. Or at least I guess it's showing like the bare minimum with her. You say you hit 331 and your highest is 306. Said my second today, setting up for UVU. Yeah, I gotta go through my PvP setup and like allocate everything. I was like kind of thrown off last night because I was like gotta go to sleep, and then I was kind of thought it was weird because usually the Asian servers have the characters before us, but they didn't get the update right away. And so I was like, that's kind of odd. And so then like, what was that? That was like 1 or 12 or 1 a.m. this morning. The update went live and the damn unit was accessible to summon for. So I was like trying to build them a little bit earlier this morning, or at least Nelu I was. He said, how many character bans per match? Said I haven't tried yet. I think in early elo it's like 1. I think it's 1. But before that, it's like it's none, because they're trying to get you acclimated into it. Like in the earlier elos, it's kind of expected that you don't have a ton to work with, so they don't like have you like just banning everything, because then like you might not have anything to actually use. Yo, what's good, Ashios? How you doing, fam? Get out of here. I can't wait to see the next rotation of that Gamba event, because they said they were gonna nerf some of the RNG. And I even though I didn't like the drop ratio, I still went lattice investment. I'm not gonna lie. You said I'm gonna steamroll early then. Yeah. Honestly, early elo is not hard at all. Like you might even catch a couple of bots just because a lot of people like they'll power push it, and yeah, like I will say though, the bots can't beat you though. Like don't sleep on the bots, like because the bots low key I guess they follow like the data from like actual players. So yeah, they low key can still beat you. You said doing good, brother. Yourself? Oh, I'm not doing bad at all. Just chilling. Like I said, I was this like last few days I've been trying to figure out like my PC situation. So I was like trying to figure out what parts I wanted to get and doing some research and like stuff like that. Cause I'm so out of the loop when it comes to like PC stuff. Cause I don't always pay attention to it. So I was like looking into stuff like that. Trying to figure out if I want to go Intel or AMD. I decided to actually go AMD this time. Cause I've only ever have done Intel, but I kind of wanted to see what AMD was like. So, and I've heard a lot of good stuff about AMDs too. Monitor meter. We'll do that. We'll do that. You said custom building or making upgrades to your current one? Oh no, I was custom building. I actually trying to decide if I wanted to do pre-built with custom part picks versus me building it myself. I actually found a computer pretty close to what I wanted. That's going to be built pre, but I was going to build it myself initially, but then I was just like, you know what? Let me just get a PC that just saves me time, that's pre-built, and then I can just change out the parts that I want to whenever I'm ready. So spec wise, I ended up getting like, hold on, let me tell you guys what I got. Oh damn! Oh, it was 946. Oh, my editor is messaging me. I think right before the run starts. Okay. Hold on. Let me get this. Yeah. I went to a Best Buy and I was talking to this guy. He was like mad knowledgeable. He like put me onto the site called PC Part Picker or something like that. Which I'd never heard of that site before. And I was going through that. I was like custom building it, picking the parts out, the memory, the storage. I really like that site. I ended up going with an AMD Ryzen 7. It's a 9700. I was going to do 98, but I was like, yeah, I was going to do 98. I was going to do the 98, but I was just like, I don't fucking know what I want. So I was just like, I don't even know. So I just went with that, to be honest. And then it still has pretty good specs on it. I think what I have a 5070. Yeah, it's gonna have a 5070 on it. Because that was the other thing too. I was like the 5080s versus the 5090. I like, bro, I like, dude, I'm not trying to, like, I mean, I want to see more pixels and stuff like that, but like, I know like there's been like some like weird stuff going on with some of the newer stuff too. So I was just like, all right, let me just go for what I know works, and then I can upgrade that stuff when the time comes, and I'll just do that myself. You said PC Part Picker is really good. Yeah, dude, I actually really like that site a lot because it transfers everything over. Like if you want to use it like and have it emulate over to like Amazon, that even kind of helps you with like finding the parts if you want to use Newegg as well. So yeah, it's really good, honestly. It's really good. It said couldn't get a Lelim today with our 40 Apex prototypes, but we got one P1 Yelly from standard. Oh, really? Congrats on that, at least. And that's not bad for Yelly because that's just more damage. Like that's the thing for her. Like certain units, like dupes, are like really god tier for them, just because that unit you want her to be dealing as much damage as she possibly can. So that's kind of the thing. Yeah. So that's like actually really good. And I mean, to be honest too, like the only good thing too is like, even if you don't get like the LD now, like if you stack up again and then like say maybe like later on you want to pull on another banner, it carries over to that next banner. So you'll still be able to get something at some point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, saving for the new LD. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you tried your luck, seeing if you got it. Okay, I didn't, but it carries over. So wait till the next thing that that comes out that you might want to play into or need or want. You said 14 away from Pity. You know what's crazy? I have her. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to build her right now. I had to make a conscious decision. I was like, okay, do I want to be do I want to be that guy that tries to build like a mega well unit right now? Or am I going to try to build an efficient, low investment character for the average player? And so I decided to do Nelu just because I felt like that also would just be more of an impactful thing. Because I had a lot of people actually saying they thought that she was trash. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, dude, like, I just think at this point, I'm convinced people just try to rage bait. Cause I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. I like, you got like, and I also think like too, with this game, it's like, there's a lot of takes that are looked at like through like the singular lens of just the unit by itself. But like, you have to think about combinations because this whole game is about team composition. It's like, it's really not just about one unit. Like even Yeli, it's like, Yeli's a good DPS, but she's even better when she's paired up with a right character to move her properly. So her paired up with like Lily is busted. Her with, you know, like with Akachi is good. Her with Nelu is really good. Like whoever is able to enable that character really makes that character or makes that character work. So you said they got to add a sweep function for the pseudo open world thing. So it's kind of cool for all the 5 minutes, but now that was just a waste of time. See, that's the thing, though. Unfortunately, that's what this game wants. So the devs kind of said what they want from players the other day. They said, we want your time. Like in reality, that's really what it is. So this is just all time. That is all it is. So it seems like a waste of time to us, but that's exactly what they want the gameplay loop to be. At least right now. I feel like once they add more stuff, though, they're gonna probably like make stuff. They're gonna make stuff a little bit quicker to do. I mean, honestly, when it comes to certain things, I never really mind skip stuff. Like I actually like even now, like I'm playing Silver and Blood, and I love skip functions in that game that they're about to add. But you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. Me playing Silver and Blood is like kind of showed me a lot. Like not that I didn't know certain things, but it just kind of is like. A lot of what development teams do or want to do with their games starts from the beginning. Like it's like already in mind. And that game literally had like they have this massive patch that like for the first 30 days of the game that's already like making the game better. Like they're like guaranteeing like with the rate of units that they have coming into the game that every player can get a character for free. Every 2 characters or something like that, like you're guaranteed to get the second unit free. And I'm just like, bro, like, I'm like, what game is doing? I'm like, what games are doing that? Like, that's just mad random, but that's what they want to do. And that's like from some of the feedback that they took. And then like people were complaining, like, we have a mode that's called, what is it? A Time Sworn Mausoleum or something like that. And that's kind of like this, right? Like, it's like this mode, you go in there and you just do these waves of fights. And it's just like, why am I here? And they were just like, oh, you guys like are tired of doing that? All right, cool. We'll just give you a skip function. So if you beat the stage, then you can just skip it. I'm like, oh. So it's like little stuff like that. Like it's just like, dang, dude. But it just depends on what the developers are, what they're trying to get out of their players, or what the expectation is for the play style or the gameplay loop. So. You say, yeah, like food pair with Doki. Oh, brother. You said, I run Messiah, Lily Claus, Kaz, and Doki Doki. Who can I replace for Yeli and Nelu? Wait. Are you saying you're trying to add them to that team? Because if you're adding, and wait, what is this for? By the way, Messiah, Lily Claus, Kaz. Wait, is that for your Doki Doki setup? Is that Doki Doki setup? Because to be honest, if you're replacing anybody, it would be a direct replacement, Yeli into replacing Messiah. And Nelu would actually be, I'm trying to think here. Coverage, you need Kaz. Kaz is huge. Kloss is kind of huge for movement and extra damage amp. Okay, so what if you don't mind me asking, what's your average time on your run? Because if you're running Doki Doki is intended for like amping your team and protecting your team in longer fights. Because if you go Nelu is intended to speed up your team and amp your damage. So you would need to basically have the ability to do enough damage fast enough, which is like clearing that first wave and second wave, So you said about 3 minutes? The only thing I could think of you doing, are you running any artisans right now? Because that's the other thing too that like supplements a lot of sustain. Lily, I also feel like, yeah, if you're gonna go that setup, yeah, Lily it will help the Yelly a lot. It's just making sure you're maintaining the cast for the damage reduction strip. Cause yeah, I would say like, yeah, Yelly would be replacing the Messiah in that setup, and then it would have to be, if you're going Nelu, it would be Doki Doki, but you would have to have enough damage for that to make sense. Because yeah, Nelu is there to speed your team up so that you can actually get more turns in. But also too, Doki Doki was facilitating giving you more speed. So yeah, one artisan can work. Because it's just to give you extra sustain if you're in the fight longer in the second wave. Because I don't think Yelly's one-shotting that whole setup. And then are you running Kaz on the Codex of Magic by any chance? He said, weapon time weave, procs on a turn 3 cooldown. Said it's up instantly. Anybody else notice that? I haven't noticed that, to be honest. That's like the one set I haven't really used as much. Just because I just personally prefer to have the guarantee turn, like versus like, and I mean, granted, I've built it on some characters, but I don't like actually look at it because like if it procs, it procs. If it procs, it procs. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I haven't like actually looked at it. He said cast and okay, so yeah, they're on Codex. So I would say, okay, my other question: do you have the ability to max out Yelly, or do you already have Yelly maxed out? Because I wouldn't even attempt that unless she's like fully built. If I'm being real, I don't think you have to worry so much about this. Well, skill 1 does kind of help because that's what she uses to basically counter with, but like she has to have her skill 3 and her oh damn, let me see if I punched this guy. I think I did. Okay. You said for longer fights I found Kaz on Swift Rush, Time Weave, and Halloween is better than yeah, that's what I'm trying to actually determine though. Is how fast that team setup is going to be. Because the thing is that if the team is able to do enough damage to get through the fight quicker, then you can run Codex. But if you're in a longer fight, then Codex isn't necessarily the most beneficial because it becomes a dead set or a dead pet for 8 turns. So it's like, it depends on the amount of time that you're shaving off. I know Adu said that is at about 3 minutes, like on the clear. But that's why I said it's like a lot of factors, because it's like if you're able to do the damage, then you can go Codex easily. Because that's kind of what makes like Ramoka work, is like she has the ability to do the damage. And if you can facilitate her getting the ability to take the turns, then you can go Codex of Magic and the fight is minimum or at most a minute, right? Like, so your Yelly is max. So I would try it first to see. I would test it first, Adu, because I can't answer it 100% because I haven't tested that specific layout. Because I've actually personally have not used Lily. I don't think I've actually used Lily for any of my threshold runs. And I don't know if she's going to give you enough damage to be able to get through the wave quick enough for the Codex of Magic to make sense. Because otherwise you're going to want a little bit more sustain. Because even with the Nelu is, like I said, she's going to help you with the rotations on your team because she gives a speed up buff. So there is that. I think that still would be beneficial. The 30% damage increase is still going to be beneficial. But it's really just determining how much damage can you do within that first turn going into that second turn rotation and what skills you have on cooldown. And just accessible to use to either do damage again with like skill 2 or skill 3 rotation. If not, then it's like you know, kind of adjusting accordingly to maybe make the run like just have more sustain for consistency versus like just trying to make it really, really fast and then failing a lot. You said, what would you run without Lily? So I actually, with the setup I'm using right now, I'm running Freya is kind of what I use to facilitate the team's movement. And then I'm running Nelu. And then everybody else, because they're debuffing, this is why I said like Freya, even just in terms of like the investment cost, like I know people will make the argument about Lily, but dude, like for Doki Doki, Freya is just, she's a powerhouse. I have no investment in her. She has like garbage gear on. I don't know. It's like she just exists and she does stuff for the team. So between the 15% extra damage that she gives, the the defense up, if I do have to take any hits, and then the fact that she's facilitating the movement on the team, I kind of use her for that. And then I also do get some damage amp from her, and I use Nelu. And then I have Ramoka as my DPS, and then Klaus. I know you're using Klaus and Kaz. So that I'm using those similar units, but I'm not using an SSR LD. I would say that like the role that Lily plays and Nelu plays is kind of sort of similar, but not exactly. Like they still are very different, but they're very similar. So it's like replacing the Lily, I don't think would actually make sense just because in your situation, like you don't have anything. Like your DPS doesn't have an ability that's going to allow them to be able to skill 3 again, unless you're using someone to cool down that ability, which is what the Lily is providing. So that's why I said you have to kind of see how much damage you're actually getting out of the Yelly first before you determine whether or not that's something that's going to be like a mainstay for you. Because what's going to happen is that you have the skill 2 use from the Lily. If she's rotating first, she pushes up the Yelly, and then you have to kind of gauge like, and that's why I said like even with Lily, like Lily is kind of like, she also requires some tuning too, because what she'll do sometimes, like you can't have Yelly rotate before Kaz and or any of the other debuffers, because then that makes it to where Yelly is basically hitting into nothing, right? Like she's at that point, well, she's self-procking her own defense break, and then there's no other amp. So that's where like the tuning kind of comes in. That's why I said it's not really a straightforward, like just replace this and this. You have to actually test that, because I run into that issue myself, and that's when I have to make those adjustments. I actually was running into that issue with, it was another setup I was using Lily with, and it was my Dating. She kept making my Dating rotate in front of all my ampers, so he was just hitting into nothing. So like with that, making sure that she's not rotating faster, and that's why I said like certain characters, they're intended to be on teams that are quick. So Lily is a unit that's intended to have other supports with her that are also fast, because what she's doing is she's taking a slower DPS and making them go faster, or moving them, right? But you don't want them to move so much faster that they're out rotating the other supports that are there to help them do more damage. So that's the thing you're gonna have to see first, right? Like, is making sure you're still getting the proper rotation so that you're able to take advantage of all the amping. Because even if you're using, say, Nelu, but like Nelu goes after Yelly, then you kind of waste that skill 3. And then if you're going, what's it called? Like, say, for example, you have the next rotation, which is going to be you going into the next turn, you're still going to have to be aware of what your rotation is so that you can take advantage of, like, and really at that point, when you're going into that turn 2, ideally you would want that going into the next wave, right? Because like you would want to skill 3, kill that wave if you can, and then go into the next wave if that's possible. But that's why I said you got to kind of test that. You said Lily's like, Patrick, take the Yelly on and move it over there. Yo, what's good, Rap G? How you doing, bro? You said I do have Real, but she's benched right now, no lattice. Okay, so Ramoka just got buffed, right? I'm not gonna lie, like with the video, like, so I just put a video earlier. My investment, which I would say is mandatory, is her skill 3, right? Minimum, you need to have that skill 3 max. Because now her skill 3 is at, what is it? 200%, I think. Yeah, I think it's 200. Why am I overlooking Ramoka? There she is. Yeah, I think it's 200% on her skill 3 now. Yeah, 200%. I think it went from 170 to 200%. Yeah, that's a big difference. And then her skill 2, and this is why I said like even the pairing of like her going like getting rotated with the skill 2 now is nuts. So her maximum on the skill 2, which I still don't have my skill 2 invested, right? It was 0.6% on the final damage increase if it was maxed. That's what it was when it was maxed. So now it's 1% when it's maxed, and it's 0.7% when it's at base. So this skill actually got buffed even at base. And it's way more consistent now. Like when I say like years, like it's it's eons more consistent. So it's really, really good now. And so like even when I have off runs, because I'm gonna be honest, right? And that's what I was saying in the video, is that not every run is always going to necessarily be a one shot. That you might have an anomaly run where it doesn't one shot because a specific thing didn't happen. Kaz doesn't sleep. Klaus doesn't land the defense break. Something can happen, right? And so with that, because I'm getting the speed up buff and the damage increase with the vulnerability from, and really I would just say the speed up buff, right? Because I'm getting the speed up buff and the skill 2 from Nelu, it's actually allowing you to cut everybody with Ramoka, or really any DPS at that point that you're using if you're pairing her up with her. And it allows her to go right into her skill 2, which means the enemies aren't getting a turn. Because you remember, the issue with Doki Doki is that you have a 2-turn window before they get back their damage reduction. And so you're trying to do things faster so that you can actually do more damage before they get that back. So it allows her to be able to cut before they are able to get that reduction again. And then she hits really, really hard with that skill too. The other thing too that they did was they made her stun guaranteed to happen. So that's another thing that they also changed on her, which helped her significantly. Because I think before it was like, chat, what was it, like 70? Was it like a 70% chance or something like that? I feel like it was definitely way lower. So they buffed everything on her. So I think like for me, I was like super behind like what people were saying, which was like, I want to, like, if we ever got another reset event, I'm like gonna I'm gonna reset my Ramoka because her utility isn't as like high as Shiida. And that still might be the case for some people. They still might feel that way. But I will say, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like her stock kind of went up. Like so much so that I actually want to play her in PvP a little bit because so it's like that was kind of the same issue we had like with characters like yeah, I know it's not 100% because there's still the 10% mitigation that you have in the game. That's standard. Like we got to deal with that regardless, but it's as close as you're gonna get it, I guess. But to be honest, I mean, there's yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I get what you mean. It's always capped at 90. But yeah, and actually it's fair to be honest, because you don't want people to be confused, because people will take that and be like, Zox said it's 100%. Why is it not landing? Yes, guys, there's an innate resistance that exists that makes nothing ever 100%. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I was like thinking about, was like, I want to kind of test that out and see, how she actually performs, because that's actually going to be really good into like different setups where like now I can basically take advantage of, like, even if I don't kill, I still get that lockdown. So it's like little stuff like that I was like, okay, we see what you kind of trying to do, devs. So I kind of did like that change with her. You said better than the 15% in Summoner's War. Isn't E7's higher too? Isn't E7 like 15% too? I thought it was somewhere around there. Or it might be 10 too. I don't remember. You said E7 is 15%, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like this game is just funny. It says slight correction, 100%. I just pulled Yelly, but he said, oh, damn, you deleted it. I was about to read that. You said, all right, I'll try out things. Yo, dude, if you have any questions though, come back and ask though. But like I said, like I'm not one of those like people that's gonna lie to you and be like, oh yeah, I know the answer. Because like I said, the real thing is that like in my head, because I've done so many runs, I can kind of give you a generalized idea of like what would happen because to be honest, there are just specific things that are set and like just kind of set in stone to happen. But as far as like a successful clear with that specific layout with a Lily on it, I just personally haven't done it with a Lily. That's why I said like it's like just from the way that I've seen and the way I've tested and used Lily, I know that, and also just doing Doki Doki, I know that it's gonna be some like offsetting and fine tuning you're gonna have to do in order to get that run to facilitate right. And even like certain layers of either sustain you either need to add or maybe even shed. Just to kind of depending on like what quality of gear you have at the moment. You said Loki Freya is my next 6-star. I think like, I mean, honestly, Freya was one of my like earlier 6 stars, dude. I don't regret it. Like she definitely like was super worth. I mean, you get the higher base speed on her, and because she, like I said, facilitates movement, like she's just too good. That's why I said like I think now we're at a place where like hopefully more players are learning how to kind of assess like, you know, things and make better decisions. But like that's what we're kind of having to deal with even now. Like yeah, people are just gonna have to definitely make more like solid decisions that's gonna really help them progress and not just like, you know, pulling the trigger on things just because, like, even if it looks cool, I get that. Like, hey, if something looks cool and you pull for it, hey, that's that. But then you can't be mad if it doesn't actually help you progress, because it's like, hey, you could be a gacha gamer and just pull for aesthetics, but if you want to like play to progress, you got to actually make smarter decisions on certain units, you know. So people are looking for a power creep unit, but the game is balanced. Yeah, I mean, the thing is too is like I said, it's like me and Simone were talking about that, is that like they're literally, we were trying to tell people in world chat that it's like the expectation that every character coming out is going to be a character that's god tier in PvE and PvP is just unrealistic. It's not going to happen that way. There are going to be characters that straight up just come out that are doo-doo butter in PvE but amazing in PvP, or vice versa, right? Like they're gonna like it might be that way. And I think like this is the thing that I have to remind people about, is that this is a gacha and it's intended for them to still make money. So I think the idea was that they wanted all characters to have some utility in both aspects of the game, but I don't think they're gonna be like cream of the crop, right? Like, so it's kind of like almost like kind of the idea of like of Messiah, right? Like Messiah is good to use or can generally be used in everything, but he's not the best at everything. And the thing is that like with him, even there's still like a certain level of investment and pairing that he needs too. So that's just kind of that, you know. And that is, it just kind of all depends. You said problems with the new characters both is bad in both PvE and PvP. But see, that's the thing though. Like I feel like that's like that take is just so it's variating, right? Because I haven't heard any one person or group, I would say collectively, agree that she's bad or that she's good, if I'm being honest, right? I've had some people say that like even the builds that people are running are like not the right builds. I had some people said like and showed that they've been running her in PvE for certain things and her damage is like matching close to Hoyan's. So I think it just kind of all depends again on like your ability to build and what you're building on the unit too. I can't say though personally, that's why I haven't really given a take on like if the character's good or not, because I haven't been able to actually test it personally. But from what I've noticed is that I've seen a lot of people giving mixed reviews. So I don't know 100% what the full take is. And I'm gonna be honest, it's also day one. So I'm kind of waiting to see like what other things come out, because I'm telling you like day one will be the consensus for something. And then day 2 or 3, then it's like, oh, we figured this out. And then now the unit is god tier, but everybody it's just like feels like they have like trash or just gonna skip the banner. So I don't know. You said I've used her against CC and she one shots most of the time, but she's a 5/5/5. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, Chai. I had, and I quote, right, on my last video, I had people arguing with me that this unit wasn't a 555 unit. And I'm just like, bro, so like, I don't think like we're looking at the fact that her whole kit is intentional to counteracting what we have going on in the current meta. Also too, like even with some of the builds that I've seen like people, they'll share, like even in the world chat, they're sharing their builds on her. They have her built on like momentum. I personally feel like that's a character that needs to be on harvest. Like, I don't feel like she needs to be on momentum. It's just like, just because of the fact of like what her kit does and how it works, it's intended to be a high scaling of like, or high damage kit with higher thresholds of HP. And it's like kind of says it in the kit too. So it's like, so I was like kind of looking at that. I was like, okay, like she can't use the HP ceiling decrease aspect on bosses, but it definitely seems like there's definitely more of this emphasis on like hitting really hard on higher HP thresholds. So I used it with Codex, Swift, and Bloodbath in one HP module. Wait, so have you built her on like have you gone like Bruiser? You said if you need a single target, then you also got the Ting. Yeah, the Ting is, I mean, the Ting is a thing. You know, the Ting is the guy. He's the guy, but he's definitely PvE god, right? Like you said, you go on Bruiser. Yeah, that's what I've been getting. Like, but also too, Chai, what elo are you in? Because I think I think I don't know. Like, I feel like also there's like a lot of the opinions vary based off of what elo you're playing into. Because like you gotta like, I don't think a lot of people actually realize like in certain elos, even the Revelation like meta wasn't as oppressive because there were people that were able to kind of sort of counteract it somewhat. Versus in like lower elos, the Revelation meta was tearing people apart. So it's just like, where, like, depending on where you're at, it's kind of hard to like narrow down. Like, but that's why I said too, I think what's ultimately going to be the determining factor is going to be based off of that, like where you at in the game. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I mentioned some of the characters from like E7. There are some characters that are purely not meant to be built early. They're literally for high elo, super end game, and even so, they require a perfect build. Like they can't just have a somewhat okay build. Like they need a perfect build in order for them to really operate. So you said she's not the tank counter. She's the tank player CC counter. Yeah, so current meta seems to be more bruiser than CC. So Revelation is non-existent. Yeah, everything has slowed down. That I have seen. Those like everybody's complaining about that now because they're like, now the matches are like 10 minutes long, and I was dying because I'm like, bro, that's meta shifts. Like this is gonna be that way. But it's like also it's like I think they're also going through the cycle of trying to find that middle ground, because it's like trying to have like going from fights being a minute to fights being 10 minutes. It's like now we need that next thing, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's just funny because I'm like, bro, this is how metas kind of develop. Except because everyone uses Bloodbath and Bruiser comps. But I think also too that like kind of sort of happened because of Revelation, right? Like I think that was like the real reason why we really seen majority of that coming into play. Was because a lot of people were trying to counteract Revelation. So I think now it's just more people have it on hand because they were trying to counter Revelation. so like now it's like everybody just got Bruiser. Like that's kind of like what's going on right now. It's like even count users has been limited a lot. It's that Cleve comp that says not just, oh yeah, it was Cleve in general. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it was definitely just Cleve in general. Actually, I could have probably swapped this now I'm thinking about this. I'm almost certain I could have swapped this and just killed this thing. I'm almost certain I could have just did that, but whatever. It's that Hoden and Rahu getting buff and damage is making it faster, I guess. Oh, you're talking about for like the tankier setups and stuff like that? It kind of makes sense, I guess, but it's like, it's just another adjustment phase, man. Like that's the thing. And I think the problem is too, like I think that that's just kind of the thing we're running into right now, as well as like, because the economy is a certain way, like with adjustments and stuff. It just like, it's much harder for players to adjust into stuff. Yeah, I should have actually went like straight into nuke. Yeah, it's harder for players to just like adjust right into stuff too, because like as soon as one thing is being predominantly emphasized, like everybody was like, and that's what I felt like was gonna happen, which is why I was like not scared to build it, but I just like kind of was like, dude, if they do that, like it's gonna kind of feel bad if you built like 5 revelations. It's like, so now like there's this shift, so everybody's having to they're having to kind of now adjust if they didn't adjust already. So there was some people that were able to farm and adjusting to like the bloodbath builds and all that jazz, but now like I think now it's like starting to kind of seep down. Like other players are like, damn, I got to do it too. You said 2 3 4, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm like doing more talking than I am actually paying this any mind. So I'm not even reading the things. I just like kind of glance at them and then just like, I'm out of here. Like, I definitely did give her way more stats than she needed. Like 50% on what? 1 million? Don't need that. Like, you say you're autoing it, Giga Chat, I'm dead. Dude, honestly, when they're like I'm not gonna lie, dude, like PvE game-changing unit, in my opinion, is Yeli, dude. Like, Lily is cool, like if you have her, but dog, Yeli, maxed out Yeli, just like, who's gonna do damage? Yeli. What dungeon am I in? Oh, Yeli. Like she just can do. She's just the option for everything. The only other time, and there's some cases where the Ting is a little bit better, but like in reality, it's same thing, right? Like same thing with both those characters. Like between those two characters, like they just cover damage so well for you. So I had to restart multiple times because she would one-shot my DPS. Bro, it's just ridiculous. Like, honestly, like and I'm not gonna lie, again, I have not, like, there's some people that got like 5 out of 5 Messiah. So there's some people that have like the Rosas maxed out. I'm like, dude, only character I got maxed out on my account since release is Yeli. Everybody else is like 1 skill minimum for the most part. This is normal. Yeah, bro. I just hadn't been doing it. I'm like trying to rush to do it now because it's about to end. So like, that was me. I was being lazy. I ain't gonna lie. I was definitely being lazy. Oh, brother, am I not? Wait, I should have swapped that. I should have. Is she gonna? Yeah, she's gonna kill. Never mind. Give me a turn. He said, plat 3, cuss with diamond. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're still in a pretty good elo. Goodbye. He said, "Nah, I feel you on the being lazy part." Yeah, I mean, bro, like, again, like it's like I was like, I'm not gonna lie. And this is just full transparency. I was auto farming like the stuff I could auto farm in like the background, but like, bro, was I like sitting here hours on end playing the game? No, because I was waiting for the changes. Like I was like, okay, once they buff certain things, yeah, exactly. Like that's why I was literally same thing, dude. Like I wasn't really doing much. I was like maybe tweaking some things here and there, but I was just like, let me wait for some of these changes, because Kachi is so good, dog. Dude, what's crazy is they gave this man the exact buff I said on stream the other day, which was crazy, because I was like, wait a minute. I literally said, I was like, yo, I was trying him in Shadow Flame Hoyan, and I was like, dude, if they literally just made his chance of stunning higher, he'd be a god. They literally buffed that. I was like, bro. I was like, yo, he's about to be crazy now. I was like, okay, that's all I needed to see. When they did that, I was like, yep, I'm about to use him in everything. I probably use Kachi in like more stuff than I probably should, just because like it's not even like even necessary. They rebuffed, which I'm glad they did, because it made no sense to kind of it really didn't make sense to nerf her as much as they did. Number 21, because number 21's rotation, like I felt like she should have just kept it the way it was because it was so good. But number 21 did get buffed. I'll give him that. And then you know what did, and I know they did it because of freaking barcode. I know, I'm 1000%, and y'all can go tell him this. I know he's the reason why Sybil got buffed because I was sitting there like, that is the most random buff, bro. Like, I was like, yo, I was like, oh yeah, 41, my bad. Yeah, number 41. Sybil was the most random buff because she already performed well. So I was just like, okay, I'm not mad at it, but I know it was barcode. It was 100% barcode that got that unit buff. Because I was like, yo, out of everybody I've seen do content, he was one of the first people I've seen do anything with a damn Sybil. So this man was main DPSing with Sybil, yo. So, hey, I'll give him that one all day. I will give him that all day, dude. So I was like, dude, man, like, so I'm actually like, I'm not gonna lie, like for the first wave of buffs, kind of surprised they did any R rarity units, because usually like low rarity units don't get included in a lot of stuff. I'm glad they reduced the cooldown on Marvel. That was pretty huge because it just felt like they were punishing him because of what we were doing before release, but it was just like, damn, like he's just not even usable really. Like it's like you could use him, but it just didn't make sense. He didn't sync with anything. So it was just like, all right. He said, to be honest, I'm not even complaining. I voted for Aurora because of barcode. I'm not looking back. Hey, like if it works well, like that's what I mean. It's a really, really good setup. Like, and that's the thing that I like. And what we're gonna see, like, and this is my thing, right? There's a lot of people that are like even content creators that are like quitting the game and, oh, they're not doing this, I'm out of here. And I'm just like, you know, I like the game is gonna flesh out. Like he said, now he barely uses. Now he is barely used. What you talking about, Kachi or Sybil? He said Arkachi cooldown worked on shells too. I use him all the time. Oh yeah. That's like one thing that I feel like they kind of what still makes him an R rarity unit. It's like he's good at what he does, but he's not overtuned. Because then, yeah, he'd be busted. Because that's what makes, like, healers like Mia. That's why I said, like, there's, like, you know, some people trying to directly compare them. Like, oh, Mia's better than Ling Lo. And I'm just kind of like, you know, they both are really good. They're actually good and, like, paired together, right? Like, and the other one, like, kind of facilitates and enables the other one. Like, that cooldown with the, like, for cooling down character or Animus skills and pets is huge. Like, that's such a huge ability to have. You said, oh yeah, Marvel. He might get picked back up a little bit now with him having a lower cooldown, but 5-turn cooldown. Yeah, I'm not using him. So like, why? It's like mad ridiculous. That's gonna make him work a lot better on time weaves and stuff like that. Cause that just felt bad. Like 5-turn cooldown on a time weave and your max skilled is crazy. It's just like nothing should be 5-turn cooldown unless it's that oppressive. I feel like considering like in most PvE content, a lot of turn meter stuff is mitigated and he doesn't even have enough turn meter pushback to really make it make sense. Like characters like Hoden, I would say kind of like, you know, there's Hoden with a 100% turn meter pushback. Like, yeah, I can kind of see that, but like, yeah, Marvel, I don't know, man. Like it was just making me feel bad. I was like, bro, like, this guy went from like the GOAT to he needs some milk. He said, any character with cooldown is so fun. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I like there's so many different combinations, and that's why I said like it's like when some people write off characters, which like I said, even with Nelu, it was happening before she dropped, right? And that's what I kind of find to be the irony is I'm seeing a good amount of people saying Lelim is bad, and a lot of people saying that now Nelu's good, but it was vice versa just when we're looking on paper. But like when I look at like, and I'm not gonna lie, like when you play these games enough and you understand the game that you're specifically playing, you can look at a lot of stuff, and I would say specific things on paper, and be able to determine how good it's going to possibly be, with some variations, because there are different things that once you actually test that could be different. But I'll say like Nelu, like off rip, I was like, dude, a character that has AoE vulnerability is gonna be high in value. Because I think even with like characters like Dyna, it's like, yes, Dyna can do it, but Dyna's inconsistent. Like that's the thing. It's all because with her, it's chance. It's like proc chance. It's like, oh, did you land the defense break? Now you have a chance. Now you have a chance to actually proc that. But if you have one hit left, you know, like there's a chance that it could not proc. Same thing with the erosion proc. Like, so it's like little stuff like that that really can make a difference and how impactful or effective something is. You said I don't have Lily, so I use Tsukiyomi, Mia Viper, Ling Low for most of the hard content that I can't clear. Then I got Yelly from Standard, Swapper for the team because she doesn't need defense. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing too. Like, I don't know. It all kind of depends on like, yeah, it really honestly depends on what, like when and what you get and how you invest. Because I know some people like even now, like the early release, or the beginning of the game, it was Messiah, right? Like a lot of people went and dumped into Messiah. And I've seen a lot of people that's like, I want to reset my Messiah now because Yelly exists. So I just think it just kind of all depends. He said Dyna max accuracy is more consistent, especially for landing defense break than anyone else in the game, by the way. So it's just landing the other debuffs that suck. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's that part. So like, so yeah, I can acknowledge that, right? Like definitely landing the defense break is one thing, but then there's the, now I have this limited chance of now possibly getting the other effects. So I will say though, if you got Dyna landing stuff with the defense break, vulnerability, and the erosion, oh, she's sending stuff to the grave. Like whoever gets hit is dying. But it's like the RNG in that, and that's the thing that I was like kind of looking at. The other thing too is neutrality. That's the thing that I feel like is going to be the highest value for a lot of players in most content, even if you're looking at like what I can get value out of in PvP and PvE, especially PvE. Like things that have neutrality are just always going to be really good. Like it just is what it is. Because the thing is that like with her having like, say for example, Dyna, I can't use Dyna in my Doki Doki run unless I'm stupid fast. And even then, if an anomaly run happens, she's just dying as soon as she gets touched. Because people do that with, I mean, even I wouldn't even say you would even use Dyna in that case. But people do it with like stuff like with the Biotin runs where they'll run like a really, really fast team and throw Biotin in it so they can get the amp. But even that is like, you gotta have stupid speed to do that. Like the average player isn't doing that. Like at all. You said also there's a weird quirk with her skill. If someone applies vulnerability before she lands the S3, it won't even activate the defense. Yeah, okay. See, I thought I was the only one that was happening to. I was like, yo, like, does this just not land if this procs beforehand? Like, yeah, that's the craziest part with her is that, yeah, if somebody else or if there's already one there, it won't build off of it. Like, so it's like it's literally that's why I said before it's all proc chance. It's like and it's self proc chance, which is like that right there is like it's like makes her more complex than she needs to be. Like I'm like, dude, people just want a defense break and do damage. Like y'all guys over here trying to figure out a Rubik's Cube to use this character. But again, that's also strategy games though, right? Like it comes with the territory, but I just feel like for her to be an SR, that just seems like a lot. Like, and it's like those little like gimmicks and mechanics that you don't know unless you're actively using the characters and doing stuff with them. So it's, I do get it though. You said it really limits her to that COM burst playstyle. Yeah, that's true. Said it's not good in long fights. Yeah, that's very true. You said I love Nelu. Said I just need to level her up. Said it just will take a while stamina wise. Yo, LOL. I'm gonna tell you right now, like minimum, she just needs to be 5-star and her skill 3 max. You put her on a codex, she's a god. So like, she literally does what she needs to do, bro. And if it's a longer like fight, you could throw her anything else. Like you don't have to go crazy like investment unless you're trying to build bulk into her or make her faster so she has a higher base speed. But Nelu, like I said, and like I showed in my video, like the only 2 characters that are 6-starred in my Doki Doki team comp are my Freya and my Ramoka. And they're both on terrible builds. And everybody else is 5-star. I don't like I said, again, I only have one fully maxed out character on my entire account. Like, I barely have any characters that's at like that. If they're not an SR, I would say SSR. I only have one character, 555, and everybody else is like at most one skill max. If there's a character I decide to invest in, I don't even have characters at 2 skills, 5.5. Like I'm like super picky, and that's what I mean by like it's like the certain decisions you make, man, really can like determine how much further you can push something. You said, did you get Lily? Yes, I did. You said Rahu and Yeli are easy 555. Well, see, you know what's funny is I've been wanting to build Rahu for the longest time. I just haven't gotten to him yet. So, like right now, I was just kind of looking at like some characters, like, and what I've been doing. I think I made a video about it the other day, but I'm kind of like committing myself to to whatever characters I'm like putting, like investment into. It's like I'm making the conscious decision to say like, okay, I'm gonna build this character fully before I decide to actually move on to the next thing. And that's just so that I can get the most value out of the character before I move on. Because one thing I remember from when I was playing E7, like in the earlier days, the one thing that actually kind of bottlenecked me a lot was the fact that I was always like half investing in everything. And over time, it just became a whole bunch of half investments on my account. Like it was never nothing that was fully built. And I think like that was something that like later down the line when I was looking at, I was like, somebody actually said the other day, they're like, dude, like if I was to take a lot of the investment that I put into some of these characters and put them into other characters or put that into like one character, how much more like that would have actually pushed my account. So kind of looking through it through that lens, I think like that's been kind of like what's been helping me. Am I doing stuff the fastest? No. But when I actually go to do stuff, I'm doing it at the highest potency with the character. So I know if like the character doesn't work, it's because I need to shift something gear wise. It's not really so much a matter of the skill up investment, because a lot of what a lot of people are experiencing right now is skill up investment versus like actual build investment. And it's kind of rough because like I said, the devs already said like, hey, we want y'all to put more time into the game. But with like evolution lattice and stuff like that, that's definitely something like I would say like if you play enough, evolution lattice isn't so bad, but the perfect lattice is definitely like, that's really what you're making like the big decisions on, because like other than the resettable or refreshable content, you're farming shards and you need 50 for one, right? So that's going to take a bit. That's going to take a bit. You said, well, Yeli's 4.55. Dude, I went 5.55 on Yeli because you know what? Honestly, like with characters like her, I was like, I just felt like it was like, okay, I'm already here at 4. Why not increase my chances of stealing buffs like that? Hey, that could maybe proc and give me more consistency. Like I'll take that extra 10%. Again, it's not necessary, but it can help. And I felt like because I was already there, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just max her. Like I already went the extra mile to take her to 4 out of 5 out of 5. Like I might as well just max her. And like believe it or not, like I feel like that definitely like did help a little bit with her. So I didn't personally mind it, but I know some people like that's being super efficient are like, nah, bro. She's staying right at that that 4 out of 5. She ain't getting no more. That's it, buddy. You said the bruiser meta is here and I'm excited. Yeah. Actually happened a lot quicker than I thought it was. But I mean, we kind of also figured it was gonna happen in the order it's happening too. So you said why are they so stingy with resets? I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like because this game's economy runs off of lattice investment. That's like one thing I was looking at. It's like this game isn't like an idle game. So like the other game I play, Silver and Blood, like the devs was like, yeah, we're gonna give you guys resets like often, right? Like, and we'll make it actual periods where you're like, you know, you're gonna get resets. Like, I think it also depends on the type of game. I will say like with games like E7, like I felt like we only ever got a reset if it was directly something correlated to a specific character. And they would either give a selector a lot of the times if there was like some sort of issue. Even when I played Dislike, like the resets, they had reset events. But when they were initially doing resets, the resets were actually emphasized for the specific character. Like so much so they would actually give us a ticket where the ticket would have the character's picture on it. And you couldn't use that ticket. You could only use the ticket on the character, which I just thought was so funny because it was just like, I guess, like, just let me know that I can't use this on anything else. But over time, they did eventually start making it more consistent for the reset events. So I don't know if it's like a time metric that they're looking at versus like actually doing it consistently. And yeah, I mean, we'll have to kind of see how they feel about that because I don't know. I know that they did the second one and they were kind of reluctant on doing that, but I have no idea. I don't know if that's like something they really want to do because out of all the things that have been mentioned, they didn't really mention reset events. Like, I don't know if you guys peeped that. Like, reset events were not even mentioned at all. Like, it was like QOL for pets, gearing, and like what's it called? I think it was like the shell currency or training data, but it wasn't really anything else. Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything that was like talking about resets at all. You said, yeah, I can see that. Just one more lattice, and I had the same idea with Rahu, but then they buffed him, so I did what you did and pushed him to 555. Yeah, bro, those buffs be like, I'm like, yo, that's what I said. I gotta build him because they've given this man 2 consecutive buffs already. Like, I'm just like, yeah, let me just go ahead and do this at this point. He said this game seems very centered around progression. If too many lattice molas are available, people will probably won't grind as much. And that's why I said I think it's important that like I took what they said like for face value. They literally were like, hey, we want people to grind on our game. So a lot of people didn't like that Shacizo said it, but in reality, that's what the devs are saying. I don't think it's necessarily even what he was saying as much so what the devs are saying. What the devs are literally saying is this game is probably not for you if you don't want to grind. Like that's literally what they're saying. Now, does that mean that they don't need to fix some stuff in the game? No, I think they still need to fix some stuff, but I also can see like how that type of game can be appealing to certain people. But I also think that like their demographic is kind of the problem, which the demographic they have isn't the demographic of we're gonna just grind all day. Like that's not the demographic they kind of reeled in, right? Because like if we're being honest, take for example people that play like Raid Shadow Legends. Those people, like, bro, they will play that game all day. That's like so much so they don't even have an auto function really. Like it's like I think they just added it not too long ago, but it's not even a good one. So it's like games that like that, for example, has been around for like 6 years, where the devs literally make like it's a process. Like it's intended. You're not gonna do a certain dungeon until you're in year 3. Like that's like I like actually talking to those players, and I was just like, damn, like this is the expectation. And those players are okay with it. That's why I say like Raid makes a crazy amount of money. Like they make tens of millions of dollars a month. And that's why I will say like some people will write that game off and just, oh, that's just a trash game. But I'm like, bro, like they actually have a dedicated audience that's actually okay with how that game is set up. Like they really do. And that's why I said like sometimes like with certain games, you have to determine if you're the target audience. Cause like that's the thing with everything. Like I mean, like I've seen some companies like when I was making, which I'm gonna start making content for them again soon because I'm gonna finally have a better PC. But when I was making content on the first Descendant, they conformed to what ended up being their target audience because I think they were looking to pull in more Warframe players. But then they actually, and believe it or not, I was surprised. They actually ended up getting a lot of gacha gamers to come on their game. And the thing is that they were like, you know what? This is an opportunity for us to make a shit ton of money. So you know what they did? They said, we're going to pair and partner up with Nikke. We're going to pair and partner up with Nier Automata. We're going to pair and partner up with Stellar Blade. We're going to like, they leaned heavy into like all the things that gacha gamers love, especially the waifu collectors. So they like completely shifted that game. That game got open world in it now. Like they like just completely started shifting things and started to cater a little bit more to the audience that they took in. And it was kind of off-putting because for players that love just looters and just grinding, they were making certain things way too easy in the game. And so a lot of those players, unfortunately, did leave, right? But they also did start to make a ton of money off of like cosmetics and like their currency or their bottleneck like resources called catalysts. So the catalysts allow you to like build stuff. And that's kind of like what the lattice investment is in this game, right? Like they have people pay for the lattice investment so that they can expedite the building process of things. But it's intended that the game, you're supposed to grind it a lot. And so like, it's like your grind time will decrease the stronger your stuff is basically what it is, right? Like that's the thing with that game. It's like more so that than just like constant completion. Content completion is still a thing, but a lot of it is that, right? So it's like it's kind of interesting, like seeing that. You said I was big into First Descendant on release, but then I got back into E7 and Etheria was on the way. Yeah, I still think the game is solid. I think what they're doing with it now is nuts. They got some good stuff coming for the game. I think it's gonna be fun getting back into it, but it's definitely another time demanding game, and it's intended that way. Like it's a looter shooter, right? So you can say that about Mew Messiah holding with 555. Yeah, I mean to be honest, if we're being honest, Ting, a lot of people. That's why I said like that's what was kind of cooking people with like trying to do like certain speed clears before a lot of these adjustments. Like if you were looking at like say the earlier speed clears in Doki Doki, it wasn't like people were making it about Ramoka. Oh, you're only able to do that because you have Ramoka. And it's like, well, no, there's also like a 300 plus speed Mio that's 5 out of 5 on the team. And that was like week 3 of the game. Like week 2, week 3, people was doing setups like that. And it's just like, well, yeah, like if you got a 5 out of 5 Mio that's just rotating the enemies so that they don't even touch you, you can run a BO10 on a setup like that and do like, so like there's some units that like absolutely at that investment level just become bonkers and they just get to kind of, again, like I said, it's like it's the ooga booga, right? Like Mio becomes one of those characters in like certain things like Doki Doki. It's if she's fast enough, right? Like straight up being able to move the enemies to where they don't even get to touch you is insane. So it's like little stuff like that that like makes a big difference. We got to go, I think, this way. You said I need a. Wait, you said you. Oh, the Valby exploit. Wait, what was it you talking about for the farming? Yo, that was so funny to me. You know what though? I noticed that they do this in every game because I think when she dropped, they were like she was pretty bad, and then when people figured out that exploit, everybody was farming her and wanted her now. I was dying. I was like, yo, like. I was like, man, see, this, it don't matter what game you go into. It is the same exact thing, man. So, like, because I used to think for a long time it was just gachas, but I just think that that's just modern gaming now. Like, it's like a perspective or a quote unquote meta. Like, I said it a while back, and there were some people that are trying to argue me on it. They're like, oh, this is what meta is. And I'm like, I know what meta is, but what meta is now, because nothing means anything anymore, is meta is what's made popular first. Like meta isn't actually what's the most efficient thing anymore. It's literally what's made popular first. And unfortunately, when you have people that are able to expedite or spend money on things, whatever people see first and see people ooga booging or doing things with first, that will a lot of times become the meta thing. And people will try to replicate it, not realizing how much of an actual gap there is between them and the ability of actually being able to do that said thing. So it's little stuff like that, man, that's like I said, it makes a big difference when you're aware of it versus not. And like some of the decisions that you make. So you said meta has always been a Venn diagram of power and popularity. That's the actual meaning. Yeah, see, but that's the thing is that like with a lot of different like region based thought processes. Which I'll say is like, I noticed that meta for each region is different in certain cases. Like, so like when we first started playing this, Victor was meta on CN, but wasn't on global. But the Ting was meta on global. And so I noticed that that's another thing too, is that like, it kind of just all depends on who's pushing the narrative a lot of time, because yeah, there is like over time it fleshes out and it should become that popularity and those Venn diagrams of statistics. That's what you collect over time. But a lot of the times, like say like for what we've had since release till now, a lot of things have been based off of like, I did this really OP thing, I'm gonna make a video, and then now everybody's like, oh, that's busted. But like I said, it's like when you look at it, it's like, okay, we see you do it, but what exactly does it really require for you to do that? And I've talked to a few people about this, is that like the idea of something being able to work versus like what's required to get it to work is like two different like things that you have to like acknowledge and look at. So like something can be meta but not efficient for a player that's casual, right? Like if you're like, say for example, like when the game first came out, there was like people that already had like 5 out of 5 messiahs. Did that make sense for people to do in week 2 that just has started and they're free to play? Probably not. Like they were still trying to get a handle on most content in the game. So it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. That really is what it is, right? Like it's definitely a combination of the two. But I feel like the problem is that a lot of times it gets blurred, and then you have different perspectives from each region that kind of determines like a certain emphasized thing. So you have one person saying, no, this is like better to do, and this person like, no, this is better to do. And you just kind of have this back and forth. I feel like that always averages out over time, because people start to, what's the word I'm looking for? They start to get punished. Like once people become more knowledgeable, and I think that that's really what it's boiling down to. The more knowledge that the overall player base has, people can't just come in and just make something a meta, right? And like for example, like you can't just hop on games like E7 or Raid or Summoner's War as a new creator and just be like, this is the most busted thing ever. Like you're gonna get eaten alive if that thing is not that busted, right? Like or if it's not busted at all, they're gonna put you in a grave. Like if you think you're gonna do something like that, versus like in an earlier release, like most people don't know better, or they don't really have much information, so they can't really determine as quickly that this is either bad or good, right? And so it's a lot of different variables that kind of goes into like the meta. And then like also too, I noticed that some regions look at meta very differently in terms of like, I noticed like in the West, the only thing we look at, it's not even popularity, it's just damage. What can hit the hardest? It's just like they won't look at any other utility, be like, oh, no damage, trash. I'd be like, yo, like tier lists, like, and if I'm being honest, that's more of an Eastern thing too, that where we've had tier lists start to be more broken down according to like classification of utility. A lot of things, like especially when you would see like a lot of Western tier lists, especially when I was coming up in the space, a lot of them were like the damage. Like if the unit does no damage, it's D tier. But then it's like, well, this unit revives your whole team, moves your turn meter, also hands you a lollipop, does like all this other stuff, but no damage is garbage. So it's like that's like kind of the funny trend that I normally will see. And it still happens sometimes where I'll be like, yo, you guys are just looking at damage. They weren't looking at anything else. So it's like, bro, I wasted 4 lasses on Lillian in the A1. You said she's trash? Yo. Yeah, hey, listen. I would be honest, bro. I was saying, yo, y'all can look it up. We got footage on the channel. I was saying, man, I don't feel like that's going to be a unit to pull for, and you can't full invest. And also on top of that, I felt like testing needed to happen first before you decide to pull the trigger on that character, because I think about stuff like that, right? Like there was no guarantee or any information put out on another reset event coming. Yo, what's good, Rockstar? My fault, fam. How you doing, bro? There was no event or information put out on another reset event coming out. And then on top of that, there was no confirmed information that she was going to be good, right? Like on paper, there's that, right? But it's definitely different in application. And so, like, I really am trying to push that idea and construct, because I'm telling you guys, if you don't play, like, especially these types of games that way, you're going to quit. It's I'm telling you firsthand, like, just from years of playing E7 and how I played that game, I wasn't the most efficient player. And the thing that always made me quit was the fact that, like, I was either half building stuff or I was just pulling stuff that just made no sense for me to pull. So like, dude, I'm telling you, like, from now on, even if you are spending, let the bigger spenders, like, and that's my thing. I don't spend a crazy amount of money on this game comparatively to some other people. Some other people, bro, as soon as the character dropped at, like, what, midnight, they had the character level 60, max skilled out, with a build on them. It was clearing content. I was like, bro, she's only been out for like 5 minutes. Let those people do the testing. Don't you make yourself a test subject unnecessarily. And the content will happen. Like, within a day or two, trust, there's gonna, like, watch. By tomorrow, there are going to be a crazy amount of videos on Lelim, right? A crazy amount by tomorrow, if not already happening now. But that's what you have to wait for, because in this game, like, if you really think about it, like I always just kind of go down to, like, the price points, right? If you think about, like, that 4 lattice that you put into that character, I always think about it from this perspective. That is equivalent value, if we're just to kind of give it a rough ballpark, about $30 a lattice, right? So you put, essentially, right? You put 3, 6, 9, 12, $120 into a character, and you're like, damn, she trash. Now, I'm not saying she is, but I'm just saying it's just kind of like, that's the thought process I have. So I know, like for example, I fully invested in my Yelly, but in my mind, I'm always equating it to what the actual value of the resource is, or at least what the game considers it to be, before I determine or decide whether or not to invest in the character. Like, even when I pulled Yelly day one, I didn't actually full send investor until I was 100% sure I felt like I was going to really be getting the value that she was giving or bringing to the table out of her. So I even personally will wait, like, just because, again, like, it's not a cheap resource. So you said we'll invest later when and if I can, if need be. Yeah, the other thing is too, is somebody actually made a really valid point. I remember this thing that used to happen on Dislight all the time, where they would release a character, say like a patch or two before another, like, meta shift, and, like, the character that would have came out 2 patches before at that current moment would be the God tier, like, 2 patches later. I will say that is something that does happen. I don't know if that's what they're trying to do or if that's what they're going to be doing, but I wouldn't be surprised if out of nowhere this unit just got like it's getting mad value out of nowhere once some other stuff comes into the game. I would not be surprised. Now, the other thing is too, if she is performing that bad, I doubt that the devs will leave her like that. I'm almost certain she would get a buff if she's that bad. Like, because I've seen some people say, like, she's not performing in PvE or PvP. If that's truly the case, the devs are going to buff her. Like, there's no way they're going to leave her like that, because there's no way they make money off of that with, like, her currently being the event shop, pack, and skin. Like, that, like, what money are you making off of that? Like, none. They're like, if that especially becomes the general thought process around the unit, and everybody's like, yeah, this unit's pretty bad, they're gonna buff her. I don't think they're not gonna not buff her, unless people are just capping. Then there's that. But you said, I feel like if if everyone is complaining and once she gets buffed, everyone's gonna bitch. She's too OP. She needs the nerf. I mean, that's the thing, man. I will say this. I'd rather devs buff units than nerf them, if I'm being honest, right? Because to be fair, like a unit being really OP and then getting a nerf after everybody already pulled them kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest. Like How Young was like one of those like experiences I had like on E7. That sucked. Like a unit being really OP and then like they just nerfed her into the ground to the point where she was just bad. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find the parameter on nerfing versus slowly incrementally increasing the value or the strength of a character. It's much easier to buff a character than it is to nerf, right? Because if you ever notice, anytime a character gets nerfed, over nerfing happens a lot. It's just like over nerfing happens a lot, bro. Like a character would be fine or a little overtuned, and then that nerf makes them unusable. Like that's just like that's why I always say like I'd rather a unit get buffed than nerfed, because nerfing a lot of the times typically will take a character from like being that overtuned to now they're just trash, versus like a buff is like, okay, like take for example, look at how many buffs Rahu has gotten and he's not like breaking the game. He's still good, but he's not breaking the game. Chloros, his buff, good, not breaking the game. You know what I mean? Like, so you kind of see that trend across most games where it's just easier typically to buff stuff than it is to nerf. So I like, if people do complain, the only, I mean, okay, I don't even know if like, I don't even know what would be a valid complaint. Like, are we talking like they buff her and then she's like, what, one-shotting everything? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like she has limitations. Like her kit doesn't actually do certain things against bosses. And it's like the only real way for her to hit this parameter of like her one-shotting a boss, she would need at least probably another 100% added to her multiplier, which I doubt they're going to give her. I don't know. I don't know what they would really do at that point. So I just feel like people don't know the build for her. But that's what I was saying earlier, is I just don't feel like people are building her right. So in theory, her kit is perfect for what's to come, introducing an injury unit. Right as bruisers, tanks become popular, smart planning. And see, the other thing is too, I don't think a lot of people realize that with her right now, there is no character, like, because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, wait, there's no character that actually counteracts HP ceiling, like, or injury and HP ceiling decreasing right now. Like, even when I played games like Dislike, we had one character in the 4 years that I played that game almost that could literally counteract injury or HP ceiling decrease. So that like there's no one that can actually counter that right now. Granted, it doesn't work on bosses, but usually those gimmicks don't work on bosses, to be honest. You said they could give her a no buff clause on her skills to buff her damage. There's little things that they could do. That's why I said I like they definitely can. I think they have a better shot at buffing her at that point versus, like I said, nerfing her. If they, like, I don't think they're gonna let her get too high, to be honest. I don't think they're gonna let her get too high. He said everyone coming in saying Lelim sucks, but see, team, that's what I like. I'm really interested though in what people are building on this character. I want to see what the average person is building on her, because even some of the world chat advice I was seeing, like people sharing their characters, I was looking at those builds. I was like, I don't know. I don't know about that build, bro. Like, I'm like, I don't know about that build, man. Like, so I genuinely think build is also a part of it, but I also feel like she's on a higher spectrum in terms of her build. And I also think part of it could also be, it could also be like maybe the type of build too for her. So as much as I hate the approach, so I would rather the devs undershoot than compensate versus overshoot and then be forced to roll back. Yeah, that's like, again, I don't know. I don't really like the, what is it called? It's I don't like when they're not proactive, right? Like, because if you do proper testing, you should always be able to determine or see if something's like in a good place or not, right? Like if you're actually testing those things, making sure against the current meta, like all that stuff. Not to say that you won't have times where things are coming in balance, but they shouldn't be so imbalanced. You shouldn't really, like, you don't want to have units coming into the game either that aren't good. But I also think, like, too, it's like, yeah, if I had to pick one, I would rather them come into the game not strong and then get buffed to be a little bit better versus like too OP and then they're like, yeah, we got to nerf that. And then you kind of pulled them and you got used to and kind of excited on that actual OPness and now you just don't get to use it. So I think it just all kind of depends. I gotta remember what team I was using for this. I think I might have used Vice for this before. I think I might actually use Fuchi this go around, but we shall see. I might have to manual this. Wait, did they nerf the second weight? I don't think I've done this since the nerf. Now I'm thinking about this. I don't think I've done this since the nerf. All right, yo, I'll have to see. He said, why did she do less damage than the team that doesn't use his passive? So it must be a bug. And that's another thing. It could be a bug. It could be. It's possible. Can I confirm that? No. Unfortunately, I'm not a dev, but I don't know. It could be. I don't know. But I also think, too, like, just in terms of, like, what he does versus what she does, I feel like with even Dating, man, like he doesn't really have any crazy. He doesn't really have like any crazy stipulations behind how he gets his damage. I feel like what makes up her damage, like she also can't use a portion of that against bosses. So I also just kind of like wondering like I don't know. I feel like she, to me, just seems like she's more of a PvP unit. Than she is like this unit that's trying to do PvE. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just kind of all depends. Like I said, I'm gonna have to build her though to really be able to see, because, like I said, every opinion I've gotten of the character has been so different, and the reasoning has been different too, and skill up investment on her has been different. He said, from a PvE standpoint, I would just stick with the Ting, but I think she'll have more value than him in PvP. Yeah, I that's what I feel personally, is that, like I said, I feel like she's more of a PvP unit. But that's just like I can't look at it any other way. Like she just kind of seems to be a PvP unit. Oh yeah, I actually am gonna have to target these guys. But yeah, I feel like that's definitely like the thing for her. Or actually, I could just probably throw in Ling Lo. But yeah, for PvE, like, yeah, there's definitely like those standout characters, and I don't. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of rough, because I don't want to say I don't think anything should be. I get it. I get why people were saying it, because I think people were looking at her kit and they were like, okay, well, her damage multiplier is up there close relatively to Hoyan's, but I feel like the utility part is what I look at, right? Like, she can't, if you invest in her, she can't be affected by turn meter manipulation. She can't be CC'd. Then you have the HP ceiling stuff. You have the, or injury, as some people call it. You have the fact you do have the damage from her, which I still think she does respectable damage. I don't like, and I think that's the thing, is like, yeah, with the Ting also, like, he only hit one target, which I think is, I mean, not even just one target, but like, he could be, I guess there's a CC part, right? Like, even just in terms of like amping his own damage, I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, I think the, like, really it's the utility. Like, I don't know how else, and that's why I said I feel like it's more of a PvP thing, because you can't use the HP ceiling stuff on bosses. So it kind of, like, it is like almost like they literally were like, yeah, no. So it's like you don't get to use that aspect of her on bosses at all. So you don't really get to take advantage of that. So yeah, I think it's just more bruiser, really. Like, it's really what is what's kind of happening right now. And I think the thing is too, it might be something actually up with her damage. Because, okay, Dark Cat, what are you hitting with her right now? You said, like, you you realize the type of comps she goes into to counter CC, she would have to be built tanky, which completely destroys her damage. If you're going first, then you just pick the Ting. So what I've seen, sealed HP will put you under her stun threshold. Instead, we're forgetting. Oh, she is guaranteed CC too. So that's incorrect because if you're going against CT, you can just full burst and speed. She says she doesn't have to though. She can just have to be faster than the DPS. Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like this is one of those things where this character just needs to have more builds tested on her because to be honest, she has a lot of utility in her kit. Like she has the she has the CC. If she kills, she CCs. So I guess it just depends on who she's hitting. I think though, if she's hitting into a bruiser or a really tanky comp, I know I've seen some stuff where, and I know me and Simone were talking about it. Like, but that's also the thing is like, it depends on like the actual build against what she's hitting into. Because 40k HP is a lot, but I don't think that's nearly as much as like some other builds I've seen. Like some people can kind of get ridiculous in the tankiness paired up with Bloodbath. So that's kind of like a thing too. We said I have a build for her, but I only use her in Guild Wars, so it's not really tested. Yeah, that's a little bit different in like some of the scaling stuff too. Except for me, it's not much used for the damage, the stun injury, and can't be CC'd is more valuable. But see, that's oh man, like that's the other thing is like I said, it's like it's the it's the thing, man. Like like I said before, it's like the idea of the damage, right? Like what should the damage be on a character with that level of utility? I mean, to be fair, you do have like characters like Yelly, but the one thing I will say with Yelly is like as much as she can self-facilitate her ability to do damage, she also doesn't imagine like Yelly also gave herself like a self speed up buff or something stupid like to make her move faster. Like it like there's still that pairing that's required to get her to work. So I think like it's like the builds, but also like pairings with her. Like who you guys feel like would be a more optimal pairing with a character like that? Because I think that that's also the other thing. It's like, who are you putting her with? Because up until that point of doing damage even into HP at like what, that 60% marker, that's kind of like, you know, like her damage is definitely going to, especially even if you build her harvest, is going to drop after you're past a certain threshold anyway. So people are forgetting Lelim can also life steal. Yeah, she can self-sustain. But see, that's why I think like I don't think her build is a direct damage build. Yeah, I don't think her build is gonna be damaged with all of that. Cause like that's the thing is I think people want her to just be damaged, but I think what she might just have an average damage, but they gave her the higher multiplier so it wouldn't feel as bad. But I think when you're comparing it directly to the hardest hitters in the game, it's gonna feel bad. That's probably what's happening too. So the damage on Lily is definitely questionable, but I feel like her optimal build would be a secondary DPS. Yeah, that's why I said like they're probably gonna still have to confirm whether or not if she's bugged, because I'm not questioning the fact that her damage, because there's too many people also saying that her damage is like pretty subpar, which. Do I think she should be like nuking things off the planet? Like to some degree, just because her multipliers are just so high. But it's like also too, if you're not able to really build into it, then it's kind of like you're not gonna really be able to see benefit out of it anyway. You said CC units usually doesn't do much damage. That's true. You said her tank stats aren't good though. Yeah, and that's the other thing I did hear somebody say was that like she can get hit pretty hard, just die. So I like it's like what's the play at that point? But that's why I think it's like it's kind of like they almost put like two kits together, and it's like pick one, but like it's seeming to not work out that way, because I've had some people say like they've gone for more of the tankier build and it's not really working as well. And then they've gone for the DPS build and it hasn't really worked that well. So I don't know. You said someone commented that she did similar numbers to their Dating, thus making her bad because she's not hitting much higher than an SSR. Are they saying So optimal build is Bloodbath. Yeah, which is falling more into tank down bruiser. That's all that's what he plays. That's literally what he plays. Like he plays bruiser. But that's why I said I don't know if it's like this character was intended. And this is why I always say you gotta wait till testing is done, dude. Cause I also feel like it's kind of the same thing. Like I got into like not really a debate, but somebody was trying to tell me like you can't use Hoden without any skill ups in him. I'm like, bro, I've been using this man with like no skill ups, like in PvE going crazy. Like I mean, I'm like the thing is though, if you're looking through the lens of PvP, the character's value changes, and yeah, you probably want more skill up investment in him for PvP. But for PvE, it's not necessarily required. Like, especially if you have all the other or all the other parts to make the team comp work. So it just depends on what you're doing. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing with her. Like her value changes drastically depending on what her build is and what you're trying to get her to do. He says it's also weird that the devs didn't reply already. So definitely something's wrong. Yeah, there could. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, right now, I will say like they're probably about to get up soon, if not already. Yeah, I know like usually like early in the morning, it's like, or right around now, it's like about to be like daytime. So we shall see. If they're going to respond, it shouldn't be too long from now. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different factors. He said, I'm telling you, Swiftwash, Bloodbath Gigabyte is the move in PvP. Yeah. So remember they did change her S3 at the last. I did hear about that. So I didn't see that. Now there was that, and there was something else that was, and you know what? Now that you mentioned that, Afro, there was someone else that they did that to, and it kind of cooked the unit. So when they came out, they weren't performing properly. And I can't remember who it was, but they did that before. There was something else they showed too before they took it out. I think it was like somebody had mentioned it yesterday to me about that, like it's something in the patch showing like a guaranteed unit or SSR or something like that. There was something that was shown, and I was just like, I remember they had what's it called? They did this before. I don't know if you guys remember the very first patch notes, but we weren't supposed to see any information on the packs, and I think it was like one of the characters, and they had put it in the patch notes, and I made a video on it, and then not even like 10 minutes later, it was like completely removed out of the patch notes. So I know that they have that tendency sometimes. Like I don't know how that happens. I genuinely don't know how that happens, but that has happened before where they've shown us stuff that we weren't really supposed to see. And then it was like something changed or different. Because even though Nell's name is different, right? Like Nell, like they were calling Nell, and now her name is Nelu. I was like, okay. Like, so there definitely were some changes and things that happened. I just wasn't paying attention to everything. Like, I see some of them, but then some people message me like, wait, I thought the character was named Nell. I'm like, she is. And then I look and see that they changed it. He said the S3 was a 4-hit and they changed it to 1-hit. This is why I wish I record stuff so I could like see that. He said, I was confused on why you were calling her Nell. Yeah, they called her Nell, and like that. There's that. Said, you said that's why she was on Rev in the trailer. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay. So point in case, she was on Revelation, and that is why I was like, okay, that makes sense if she's multi-hitting. But yeah, her on a single hit doesn't make sense on Revelation. So I'm like, okay, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's like these on the fly changes. Like, I get it. Like, before something comes out, it is subject to change. But that's why I think they're also, like, I don't know if you guys kind of peeped it, but like the marketing of the characters is a little odd. Cause like they'll drop like the character preview trailer, and then you don't see the information on the kit, or they wouldn't even like tell you the kit. They'll just be like, so this character is a unit that can move turn meter, also does this, and also does high damage, but you won't know what the kit is. Like, it's like, okay. And then a day before the character comes out, we'll see some stuff for the kit. And then we go after that. And you know what? You're right. The old preview did show 4 hits. It absolutely did. Because I remember when I was watching the video, I was counting hits. And in her ultimate, it was showing her do all those slashes. Bro. Yo. Oh, man. You said you got to take into account that the devs are terrible at showcasing builds. That Hoden build was horrible. Yo. So that makes sense why she visually looks like she was hitting 45 times in her ultimate. Because she was. That like so, and that actually makes a lot of sense. Damn, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. So I don't know, man. Did we scare them or something? This is why I say, like, you know what's crazy is like I feel like maybe we scared them. Like we were like, yo, this seems OP, and then they were like, nerf. Like maybe that's what happened. Cause I don't know. Like it just seems so random. You say you get more of a general overview / story driven intro than sooner to release. You get the meat and potatoes of the kit. Well, see, the thing with that is like it makes sense, but like the way in which it happens, it's like, and then the things that take effect afterwards, it's like, damn. You said she could have used Rev. She'd probably be a Far Cry better with that base attack. And with Rev being nerfed, I mean, I would assume she would be decent with it. Like, I mean, like, especially at that point. So they probably just made her with Rev in mind, and now they nerf Rev. It's kind of like how to fix her. Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing now. Is like what do they do from here? Like, no, it's mad funny though, because I'm like, dude, like they literally like, I don't know, like it's like we pay attention to so much stuff, so it's like, yo, they tried to slide that in. They tried to slide that in. Oh, are they done completely? Oh, so we can get the car? Okay. Wait, did they email? Oh, they did? Okay. He's like, because remember, they did say Rev is working as intended. Bro, I'm telling you, they did not. Yo, if they didn't promise us that they weren't going to nerf things on demand, yo, I'm telling you, as soon as they seen Revelation being used like that, they would have nerfed that. 1,000%. There's no way. There's no way you can convince me that was the intent. No way. I don't even believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. It was the fact that they already had said that they weren't going to nerf anything until off season, which is why they didn't do it. Because bro, did they care about nerfing stuff before they said that? Nope. You just wake up and it's nerfed like that. Like, nope. I was like, absolutely not. You said that 20 showcased how disgusting Rev was. Yeah, no, it did. That's why I said like, but you know what's funny though? Every time we've had a tournament, even in the betas, it basically showcased what the most oppressive thing was in the game. And then that was the thing that got adjusted or had something counterbalancing it. So like in the beta, tournaments and stuff like that, the bruiser takedown stuff was busted. Like I'm not gonna lie. That's why I was so surprised when the release happened. They like buffed like Rahu, for example, because bruiser takedown, like the Linglos and the Sanias and the TMX, like that crap was just ridiculous. Which is why those units got respectively nerfed. But after that, it was just like, dude, I'm just like, man, like the way that they'll do it is just like, it's like, that's why I said, like, with the nerfing sometimes, man, it makes something feel like it's just not that good anymore. I will say, I feel like most things have kind of normalized. There weren't like as many things that were like just bad, right? Like it was just like, okay, outside of Obero, oh my God, Obero was just bad. Like she didn't work at anything. Like if you were like, oh, Obero worked, you were try harding, bro. There was no way you thought she was good, because she, no, you cannot convince me otherwise. She was like, nope, bleed, terrible. Let me see here. You said, have you tested your max level Obero though? No, I'm probably going to after I finish this scrap. I was trying to finish this before the damn reset, which is at like probably like 12 or actually 10 hours now. Am I even gonna have enough? Absolutely not. Wait, what shell do I have on you, lady? Oh, I need a triple bonus. All right, so I don't need that stat, but we're gonna take that off of you. And then we'll throw another triple. Do I wanna I might do DPS Ling Low, because somebody says she does more damage than Lelim. We can. Oh no, we can't. I lied, because it's not 3. All right, yeah, we just about to take that from you. Where is it at? Was it this? Nope, it wasn't that one. Yeah, we just do that. I don't even care at this point. That should be enough HP. I just need her to have a good amount of speed. Alright. It said, yeah, OGT about was a monster, so don't get me wrong. She's still strong, but I remember in the first beta, I was destroying people with her. Oh yeah, now I think it's a little bit more intent that goes behind the build and how you use that unit, but previously, I mean, that was the thing. You could just build her HP and she just like clapped the game. He said now for the next few weeks it's just back to beta with bruiser takedown. Bro, yeah. 30 minute fights. I mean, they're not gonna be as long, but it's definitely back in beta. That's for sure. We hit that period of time, but I think we kind of all knew that was gonna kind of happen. I feel like I wasn't hitting the right target just now. Yeah, I felt like we all kind of knew that was gonna happen. So yeah, Zox, I got 3-star Doki Inferno after I tried your new routine. Thanks. Oh, Jiro, appreciate that, fam. Dude, I'm glad it can help. Dude, that team is mad consistent too. It's mad dumb. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's like the simplest stuff that actually like makes stuff work in certain dungeons. Like, it's not even just so much the damage amp, it's that AoE speed up buff. That AoE speed up buff being on what, 3-turn cooldown? Busted. That is such a good buff to have. Like that truly changed things. Like, honestly. So even like I said, with that setup, even if it's like a anomaly run where you don't one shot, because you're rotating so much faster, you can get more hits off. Which is like definitely something that makes the runs like way more consistent. All right. I can never remember which one to take out first. Thought it was and this poison debuff ain't helping. He says when daily reset happens. Yeah, it's the dark. That's what I was looking at. I was like, I think it's the dark one also too because of my DPS. I was thinking about that, but it's like I couldn't remember. And I think also because of the weird ass buff it has. He said because that constant chance to stun can easily brick the run. Yeah, that's why I took out my Kachi and brought more sustain. Because I got some investment in my Ling Lao's skill 1 now, so she's just way better. that skill 1 investment, I will say, is like super impactful for her. Yo, what's good, Yuchi? How you doing, fam? It's not bad. Can't complain. Yeah, that skill 1 investment, like it's certain investments that like. It really is game changing. Like that skill 1 really makes her feel so much better because she worked, but it was just like, dog. Nah, Yelly is just... Yeah, Yelly is actually a bully. She really is. He said, so always dark, then light, then red. Oh, okay, yeah. So, bro, I just never remember the rotation. And then heal me. You saw I'm so cooked for gear and cage rumble. Oh, I gotta do that too, dude. Like it's like these events, like the way they have these events set up is like they should get better over time, but it's just like, man, it's like the building everything and getting to that point. Like it's still a process. I will still say I'm still pushing for like less RNG within the events, but they are so gung-ho about their RNG events. Like that is the funniest thing to me. They're like, yeah, we want RNG events. I'm like, oh brother, these RNG events are ridiculous. I don't think they're bad if it's not excessive. Like it's like the events are all RNG, so it's like they're just bad. Like it just feels bad. Because that's what I was meaning. Like, I mean, dude, I don't mind. I will put the time into a game. It just, for me, I just feel like it's like you can have some things be guaranteed. Like that is okay. You know, everything doesn't need to be guaranteed. It's okay to have some things guaranteed though. like it's okay. You can have some things, you know, some things can be guaranteed. They can, you know. It won't hurt just a little bit, just to have a couple things guaranteed. He said, bro, trust that bleed. I think it works now. We got to try out a build. What dungeon are you using her in? I wanted to actually try to use her in Aurora, but I might be trolling myself. You say guaranteed love is all I ask for? What are you talking about? Yo, this dude's mad random. Guaranteed love is all I ask for. He said, just got off ER2, so having fun with the main guild. Zoxfam shares, hope we win this DVG. So I got nuked 3 times on 1-2 only. Dude, I couldn't even set my formation. My formation had bugged out. I'm so mad about it. I haven't missed a GVG. And yeah, my formation I got locked out. I was so triggered earlier, but I was like, it is what it is. But it happened to somebody in the union last week too. Said I could fill out 2 teams just fine. It's that third one that's held together by hopes and dreams. Yeah, I would say yeah. Like for most of us have been like pretty consistent. Probably have a good solid 2 teams, for sure. I think I can do 3, but it's like the gear, right? Like it's like, yeah, I'm like now like, okay, yeah, I gotta like put gear on them. Like that's why I said like it's like the formation stuff is cool until you have to go do something like Rumble Cage where everybody needs gear. Like you say you have a solid 1/5 of a team. Well, you haven't been playing that long, Raph, so that's pretty normal. It does kind of suck though when you come into a game at a certain point though, because now you have like you have that as like your events that are up. I know within the first have you come out of that new player period? Because I swear they said in that new player like period, it's like kind of like a probationary period where you don't actually have access to the newer events because you can't, because they'll send you through like a new player's like starter like event. I think it's like the first week or so, or 2 weeks. I can't remember. You said part of me would be mad if they stuck with the RNG events and gave insane jackpots instead of pretty good payoffs. I'm not gonna lie, like if I'm being real though, I was having fun with the last event. That event low key was fun for me. Like a lot of people were triggered by it, but I think it was just because of the layers of RNG in the game. I was having fun with that event. Like I just kind of looked at it for its own event. And that event was funny to me because I only went dark side. Like everybody like just play it safe. I was like, nope. I'm going all in on the dark side, dog. I do not care. I'm going all in on that dark side. And that's what I did, bro. That was so much fun for me. But it was like, but it was also like messed up too, because like I would hit like a high number and then like lose it all. Like, I don't know. I think everybody was already too triggered to have fun with a gimmick like that. Like, so I think for me, it was just like I was already where I was at. So I was like, hey, I'm cool with this. But for a lot of people, they were already triggered. They're like, yeah, bro, I'm not messing with them right now. They better give me my stuff. He said, chat, don't be Shannon sharp. Shannon wasn't sharp at all. I'm dead. Bro, man, listen. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a recess cut their revenue and playtime. Yeah, that's you know what though? Now that I think about it, Dono, I'm glad you said that because it made me think about what I said that they just said, but I wasn't looking at it from that perspective. They said they wanted players to make decisions with perfect lattice, which was them indirectly saying they weren't going to do reset events. That's literally what that is. That's what that is. You said, what happened to Shadowrun? 50%. Oh, dude, I haven't checked it since I need to actually look at it since I've been messing around with my gear and stuff. I probably took gear off because they reset formations and I just haven't gone back in there and reset it. Because I went through everything else, Doki Doki, Aurora, Terramatan, reset those formations, and then I started doing videos and stuff, so I just didn't get to it yet. And then this whole stream, we've been in this damn tower, so. But yeah, I think that was them indirectly saying, we're not giving reset. like now I think about it, like devs are pretty intentional when they do say something, but they won't directly sometimes say specific things. So I think they know, they're understanding to the fact that if they say directly, we're not giving a reset event, people are going to be mad, versus like, we want people to make smart decisions with their lattice investment. So that's something that's just going to require players to just play. That's not saying we're not doing it, but it's not saying we are. You're just like, it's wordplay. It's wordplay. You said, can you repeat about the lattice? Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, you talking about, wait, are you talking about what I said about lattice? About how, I was reading what Dono said, which is that resets cut their revenue and playtime. Yeah, it cuts revenue and playtime, which it is a metric that they're obviously factoring because they've said it. Like they care about playtime. And so when you look at the things that are directly affecting that, it would be those. So, but there's no way you as a free-to-play should be spending 10 to 12 lattice on a new unit day one. That's a mistake no matter how you look at it. I mean, I've been telling people this. I just don't think people want to listen. That's the thing. Like I have been very, very adamant about, like, even my last video, like there were some people that are actually kind of mad because I was like making this safety first type video, and they were like, nope, she's gonna be OP, I'm pulling. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, but again, I'm always like, I always try to bring like awareness and just more so self-awareness to like what I can realistically do versus what other players can do. Like, I have purchase power, I have spending power. If you don't have that, then you need to be waiting. Like, that's just point blank, period. Like, there's no reason you should be pulling for something on day one and you don't know if it's going to actually be good to your account. You said, what's your Yelly build? I got her on a Fury Kenai right now on Revelation. I have to actually go to the specific stats. But yeah, Fury Kenai, Revelation. I think she's crit rate, crit damage, I think, right now. I gotta double check though. I don't remember. So okay, I thought I heard they want more, but they don't want the reset event. Well, so like technically, I guess they did have a form of it like via the shard, but the RNG on it was like really bad. So like the rotation of that event which I need to check that currency because I think I never actually spent that currency. Now I'm thinking about it. Chat, from that event that we just had that was with all that RNG and had the portals, did that currency get converted to Etheria coin? Like the stone tabs? Cause I ain't gonna cap. I played the whole time and I never actually, I forgot to spend it. I completely forgot to spend that currency, bro. like, bro. Yo, I had so many tablets too. That's mad messed up. That's mad messed up, yo. That's so messed up now I'm thinking about it. You said I almost had 2 whole lats from the event, so I loved it, to be honest. But that's why I still did it, because this is my take, right? Like, you're like, I get the nuance and like the annoyance that can come with certain things, right? But I also look at the perspective, like, especially if you're one of those players who are like, hey, I plan on still playing anyway. The best thing I felt like you could have did at that point was just do the event, play it, do your entries, and then call it a day, right? Like, that would have still made sure that you would have had something from that event. Having, like, even if you were able to get a good chunk of shards versus having none, that still puts you closer to the next lattice versus not having any, right? I would say, like, for me, even with my RNG variating, it was like 50-50 for me. I purposely played that entire event. I didn't buy or purchase any extra keys. There were people that went crystal crazy and like they felt like they had to buy keys in order to play that event. You did not have to buy keys to play that event. The RNG, though, I think definitely did make it to where, like, if you really wanted the average to make more sense, you would get more keys to be able to do more chests, because that would allow you to get more of the currency. But in reality, if they fix that RNG and make it to where it's not so bad, then honestly, I don't think you're gonna have to refill at all for that event. Like, you can literally just play the event, because I think that was really for those that were really trying to milk it, which I think is kind of like that spending point. But like, outside of that, like, I still got somewhat semi-decent stuff from the event, and I didn't even like really farm it crazy. Like, I did enough to like clear out the daily stuff, and that was about it. And I was still losing some of those portals too. So you said, so I would have bought more keys if they weren't so expensive. Yeah, I definitely can get behind the price point too, or people feeling like the price point was pretty high, because it was definitely really different. I don't think we've had anything cost that much in the game. So yeah, that was definitely a big thing. That was definitely like, I didn't really know how to respond to that, because it was like, okay, we don't really have a lot of things that cost that much outside of like when you're pulling LD banner, and are we equivalent valuing this to that? I mean, like, that's why I always said it's just like there's always give and take in gacha. That's kind of the thing. Like, if you're gonna play a gacha, you have to be just okay and aware of the fact that there's gonna be give and take depending on the type of game and who's running the game. And most game companies, what they usually do is say, okay, we're gonna give you this, but it's gonna cost you this. Like, it's gonna cost you something. There's no such thing as like, we're just gonna implement this and it's just free. It's like, no, it's gonna cost you something. And so what they basically did was they said, okay, we're gonna give you more access to this, but now it's gonna run them hydro crystals if you want to be able to do more of it. And so it's always a point of what we call POS. It's like a point of sale and everything, because gachas are intended to make money. They're not intended to be these free experiences like through and through and everything. They're intended structurally to make money. Now, how a development team goes about doing it definitely varies. Like, I've seen some games, like some of the games I've come from very, very free to play games, but they also they did certain things a certain way to where it made sense. Like, take for example, like when I play Arknights, the game's pretty free to play friendly. Like, you could beat that game with like the lowest rated units, right? But the thing that was kind of like the biggest point of sale for them was like cosmetics, like, right? Like, cosmetics are nuts in that game. Oh damn, we got 9. I need to look at this team. I'm gonna look at this after I do this. We had cosmetics in that game, and that was like the bread and butter. Like the cosmetics changed the animation of the character. You might get some different voice lines. There was so much crap that you got with that, right? But I feel like in this game, and I was talking to shout out to homie Sion, man. We were talking about this actually last night because I was like, dude, like you know how much they would actually make if they had like the variation colors for skins, right? And let's say you sell those. If you want to sell them, you could sell those at like $7 to $10, right? And then you make premium skins. And with the premium skins, those could be like maybe a different animation. That could be like a really like out of the park, like, you know, design or whatever it may be that like makes the character look completely different. That's going to make you so much money. Like, that's going to have people that are free to play. That's like, you know what? I wasn't going to spend, but I like this character that much. And I love, and like, I like this skin. I'm going to get that. Color variation skins aren't going to do that, right? Like, because in reality, when you look at it, it's like, it's just a recolor. Like, to be honest, like, that's all it is. It's not anything special. So I like that's my thing. It's like, I feel like they like, and that's what we were talking about. And Sion even suggests is like they really need to hire somebody that specifically gets paid to just work on making alternative character designs and cosmetics. That alone would pay that person's salary. Like whatever money they make from that would pay for that person's salary. Like and it's so insane because I'm like, bro, like when I really think about it, okay, how many of you guys are playing Silver and Blood right now? Bro, how many of you guys bought the or want to buy the booty cheek skin from Silver and Blood with for what's her name for Starry-Eyed Iona? People don't even want that. They don't even have the character, and they want the skin. They don't have the character, but they want the skin. But just because she's double cheeked or double caked up on a Tuesday, right? Like that's what that's what I mean by like this game is a small team. They don't got a lot going crazy for them in terms of like output, but people bought that skin and literally do not have her. Like I cannot stress that. Like you bought the character or you bought the skin and you don't even have the character, bro. But that's what I mean by like you said. Wait, what is this game? It's Silver and Blood. Silver and Blood. I cover it on my other channel, dude. That game, I'm telling you, bro, that game is good. It's so peak. I love that game, dude. Like they really did a good job with that game, and it's a small team. It's a really, really small team, but they're operating like they got a full studio. Like they got 30 people on the team. Like that's how, like if you really look at that game for what it's worth, like you would think that game had a way bigger team because like they got, I mean, everything from English voice acting to animation cutscenes. They're adding more animation cutscenes. They've had orchestras do the music for the game. They have, I would argue, like probably one of the, like out of like newer release gachas, probably one of the best events I've ever seen. Like their summer event was the best event I played in a very long time. That event was so much of a power boost that it just like I like made videos on it today, and I was just like, bro, like this event was so god tier. And if you like play the event properly, you literally could do like. You could literally like power push so much. And then even down to the number of summons that they give. I think in this event alone, mind you, the game just hit 30 days. I think in the event alone, we got like 40 pulls. Like the event, and actually 40 tickets. That's not including, so 20 of the tickets went to the limited banner and 20 went to standard banner. And that's not even including the amount of premium currency that we were getting along the way for doing stuff. So like it's insane. Like that game, like I was just like, bro, like they found what worked, made it and fit it into their game, and it's just good. And the thing is that like if I was to give you a comparison game, very similar systems to Nikke. So I know that there's a lot of players that like Nikke. Their systems are similar, and they even do certain things better in their own respective right. Like their rates are pretty nuts. Like they have like a dupe system, but one of the things that they did to kind of counteract their dupe system is they made the units more accessible. So I think even yo, Yuchi, take it easy, fam. Have a good one. Appreciate you for stopping by, and definitely get some rest. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, the rates are 4%. Okay, pulling on a gacha is 4%. Now, I think on is this standard banner where it's 60 pulls? Is it 60 pulls? I think it's like every 60 pulls or something like that. I think it's like 60 the pity kicks in, or it's like I think it's either soft pity or something like that kicks in at that point. But yeah, it's 60 pulls. Yeah, that bro, it is so free to play friendly. Like when so before I bought the cosmetic on my account, I showed my account like within that first 30-day window of like how much progression I made with no money spent, and my account looked like I welled on it. Like, and some people were just even like, damn, like, how'd you get all that stuff? Like, there's no way. Like, I even had people like calling cap on my account, was like, nah, you spent. But I had proof that I did spend, because they had a, at that time, they like when you don't make the first bonus or first purchase, there's like a tab for a first purchase reward. I still had that grayed out. Like I didn't, or not grayed out, but it was highlighted. So, cause I didn't get anything yet. But like the rates in that game are nuts. Like they're absolutely nuts. But then they also still provide you with more summons on top of that. And then like there's just the currency. Like the QOL in that game is just good. It said the 4% feels like 50% majority of the times. It's insane. Yeah, it's like, it really does feel like every other multi. I don't think I've gone more than like 2 multis where I didn't get anything. Like it's pretty nuts, like, to be honest. Yeah, they definitely cooked on that game. And then like the very first like, hold on, let me tell you guys, like yo, I'm not even kidding you guys. Like they did their 30-day announcement, and you guys, look, I'm gonna tell you exactly what they told us for their very first dev note that they put out from the release, and it blew my mind. I was just sitting here like, bro, like, there's no excuse, because this team, it has like no people on it. That's just like, that's what I keep saying to myself, is like, this team has no people on it. And they got that Twitter event going on right now too. Yeah. All right. So the update, like, yo, this is like crazy. So our first set of stuff that we're supposed to be getting, they said, let me see. Where's that? Oh, okay. So what they're doing is they're making it to where, like, so right now, I know that that's like one thing like people are like kind of concerned with, is like how many units we're getting in the game. So on that game, they said, first thing, we're gonna give you guys free currency, right? So they just like every other banner, they basically give us 50 free pulls on the banners, right? So that's something that they're doing. Then they said, you know what? you guys, we recognize that you feel like there's a lot of characters that's gonna be coming into the game. We're gonna make it to where that in the future, you'll be able to get a new featured like unit in the game. That's a part of the new limited units that they'll bring up in every second half of every event. So every like event that comes, they usually will drop like 2 characters. They're guaranteeing that you can get one of the characters or the second character free every event. And so I'm just sitting there like, well, I'm like, okay, so that's how we just gonna start it off like that? Like, and then they had a whole bunch of other QOL and like other things that for their specific game. But I was just like kind of looking at that, and I was just like, dang, dude, like, I'm like, hey, all I can say is if a dev team wants to do it, they'll do it, right? Like, if they, like, that's really what it boils down to. If they want to do it, they'll do it. Because I was like, man, like, that's insane QOL. Just off rip. Like, oh, you guys don't like the fact there's so many units coming in? Yeah, we'll make sure you get, you know, every other unit for free. I'm like, okay. Like, that's kind of ridiculous, but all right, we'll take it. We shall take it. All right, let's see. Give me the prints. Nope. Okay, give me Hydro Crystals. We love that. It's like the best RNG event. It's like, I was free to play. I got 15 SSR units. Made me love the game. Great pulls. Yeah, no, it really is good. Stuff like that keeps free to play around. It doesn't affect wells in the slightest. Bro, it literally, bro, that's what I'm saying though. Like, it does, like, if anything, Wells are still pulling like for like 35 copies of units regardless. Like they don't care. And the thing is that like even if they were to give every player on every banner a free copy of the character, it's not going to remotely compare to the Well that has like what the base plus the 3 dupes plus the extra 6. Like it's not going to compare. But what it does is it gives you as a free-to-play accessibility to options so that you can actually build stuff on your account. Because that's kind of the problem that a lot of games run into is that's like you don't have the accessibility or options, so you can't really do stuff. And like I feel like you have to go based off of what your game's intended. That game is intending for you to make different compositions, right? Like so at that point, you got to give players the ability to be able to to do that. Like it never makes sense when games do that. It's like, yeah, we want this to be team building, but then you can't build any teams. It'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know, man. That's not adding up right now. You said Wells, Max, Bella, day one. Bro, yo, even the fact that they changed it to where like now we can deploy the same unit or the same the same unit on the same team now. I was like, yo, they like literally just listened to what people were saying and just was like, all right, we're gonna add it. Like, but yeah, those Wells wilding, bro. Wilding. I know for a fact Silver and Blood is making mad money, bro. Like, I know they are. I don't think they're gonna be like anywhere near like top grossing, but I know they're making enough to like do whatever they want with the game for right now. And like I said, I think this last event, all this, if I'm being honest, all this is gonna take, and I'm kind of interested to see even with Etheria too, like how a collab would affect the game, because they have mentioned it before. But I feel like for Silver and Blood, bro, don't let them do a Castlevania collab. Bro, it's over. Like, yo, I that might be the first time I actually max a unit out completely. Like don't let Dracula be in the game. It's over. Yo, dude, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. They do that, it's over, bro. You said, is Silver and Blood a game heavily dupe reliant? No. So you need dupes up until the point of level 200, which if I'm being honest, most people achieve that. What would you guys say you achieved your like level 200 push in? Like what, the first 2.5, maybe 3 weeks at most, I would say for some people. There might be a couple stragglers that got like really unlucky, but I hit my 200 free to play in the first week and a half. And the thing is that like with the 200 mark, they have a system called transfusion. You get those first 5 characters to 200, and then you never have to worry about 200ing anyone ever again. So the thing is that after that, what you're pulling for, the dupes do give you more base stats, but they're not required for you to uncap characters because characters can share levels, basically. Yeah, it was like the first week. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it did not take long. Dupes do help out. Don't get me wrong, they have value, but they're not required for you to be able to push the game. Really, what starts to become kind of a thing, you farm events, you farm the dungeons, like your daily resource dungeons. There's like the Times Worn, which is like for skill up mats. You have the, I forgot what the dungeon's called, that's for gear. You farm that, you try to get better gear, stuff like that. You have, like I said, the events. Their event structure in this game is actually really well done. There's consistently an event going on, which allows you to be able to farm up the resources, the extra resources that you need. Like I said, this game just hit the 30-day mark. So we just got our very first event that had 2 parts to it, and it had skill up mats. So we hadn't had any events, like all the other events kind of felt like side events for the most part. This felt like the very first main event. And it also came with like free characters, and I think they gave us all the dupes necessary for the free character too. And it was a good event. Like I'm not gonna lie, like they gave mad pulls, like it was ridiculous. And it wasn't like I said, it was just like the summertime event, like any other gacha. It was like, so Lonzo, I don't think people were peeping the fact that we had accumulated over 100 pulls just from this one event. Because it was the 50 free pulls on the banner. Then the shop had 20 pulls. Like, yeah, it was 20 pulls for standard banner, 20 pulls for exclusive banner, And then it was all the moon tiers or the blood or the moon tiers, which is the premium currency of the game. So we got like over 100 pulls, bro. Like it was way over that. And then that's not including all the milestone login bonus stuff that was also being added on. Like, bro, that's why I can't complain. Like, what am I mad with them for? Like they're doing literally everything. And mind you, that's before you spend, right? So like, it's really well done. They found the format that works, and they're using it. It's like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Yeah, bro, the resources were nuts. Like, did you do your resource drops today? Dog, the resource drops today are crazy because you're supposed to save, and I don't know how many people actually did it, but saving the sunscreen for you to be able to blast them in the nightmare mode. Bro, I broke the fourth wall on my account today. Like, I mean, like, when I say power boost, it's like my account got super ridiculous after today. Like, bro, after today, like, it was nuts. You said I didn't because my account is new, bro. Oh my god, dude. This is why, like I said, like that event is gonna catch your account up, but I like games that are really big on, like, if you show up, we help, like, you get to do stuff, right? That game is very big on, like, if you just show up, you progress, right? Like, that's it. You said what game are we talking about? Silver and Blood. Dude, like, I mean, like, again, like I said, it's free to play. You said only issue I had was a slowdown of standard summons, but after event shot clean out, I'm like 20 pulls away from an ancestor selector. See, crazy. That's what I was saying, was that, like, I felt like a lot of it was just like that. Like, we had that gap in between, and it was just like the build back up to it. But yeah, now I honestly think that, like, the currency, like, comparatively to the first 30 days and then after, because now we're past that point of a game, and, like, the currency that they're giving is kind of insane. I'm gonna be honest. Because we already had, like, a crazy amount of pulls in the beginning, and then they're like, all right, here's more. And then even respectively so, like, the amount of moon tiers that we actually regularly get is pretty high. Like, considering. Like, it's pretty high. So that's why I think, like, for sure, like, it's definitely going to feel much better now. I was like, I knew I missed the chest. And getting that ancestor, yo, crazy. Are you missing Noah? Bro, I'm telling you right now, get Noah. Like, yo, I kid you not. If you did not get Noah yet, get Noah, bro. I kid you not. That man just base copy. Just base copy be blowing up stuff, bro. It's just like, yo, I used him to clear Clive 100% today. And I was dying because I was like, yo, this dude literally is mad strong with no dupes in him. Like, it's that T Hottie, T Noah. Bro, T Noah over Hottie. I love Hottie over Noah. There's no debating it, bro. Noah will straight up blow up the screen, bro. Like, he does not care. Like, go Noah, bro. Because the other thing is, too, is he has a perk for if like if allies are dying and stuff like that, he can summon more shades, which those shades also power boost him as well. So yeah, like go Noah, bro. I'm telling you, like that, like he's really freaking strong, bro. Like, you said, yeah, if Noah gets those summons out, it's a wrap. Yo, he had me looking at my Van Helsing like, what have I been focused? Like, yo, I had Noah for the longest time because I used my selector on him, but I never actually touched him. I didn't do anything with him. He just sat there. And then today I was like, yo, okay, I got to clear this Clive fight. I used him in that fight, bro. He was blowing that fight up. That wolf like phase where he like disappears, blew it up. I was dying. I was like, yo, this dude. I'm like, yo, why is he so strong? You said the new Iota looks insane. You talk about what, the skin? You said more summon units. So I was running a whole summon team for the first 10 chapters. Bro, so his summon is like pretty unique because his scaling is like, it's like a give and take. So like if like an ally dies, it brings up a summon. If one of the shades die, it will continue to boost his damage. and he's just really, really strong. He's really strong, and it's good. There's like good give and take in how his kit works. So he definitely has a little bit more like overall utility compared to like truth be told, like an invested and even a base Noah is like comparatively so. Like to my right now, I got 4 dupes into my Van Helsing. He's right there. Like he's really, really strong. You said the new transcendent unit, the next trans unit. Wait, did somebody leak something though? Because I don't. Where'd that come from? I haven't seen that. You said no, an ancestor version of Iona. Was this shown somewhere? Where was this at? Where did this get shown at? How did I miss that? Wait, where's that at? You said they showed her? Where they show her at? You said circles entwined, all consumes, the later us blows up the whole map. Yo, his alt animation is pretty fire too. Yeah, somebody send it. Huh? Where you going? Oh, to go. No, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Can you wait? No. Get. Just a second. Yeah. Give me. But you know what it means. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys Silver and Blood before I get off. All right. Let's see here. He said, "I wish you danced on stream sometime." Maybe if this was Dislight still, people would care. Nobody cares anymore. He said, "Let us see." Once somebody sends it to me, I'll show you guys it. Yeah, nobody cares anymore. Yo, what's good, Tyrese? How you doing, bro? But yeah, man. I used to dance professionally. I kind of do it for fun now. I'm actually about to start making more, like doing more projects and like actual videos and stuff like that again. Say you fire, bro. Say I care. Yo, listen, I'm just downplaying myself. Dude, like the thing is, I don't want to say it's just because I've done it so long, but like, I used to teach on 2nd Avenue in New York. That's actually what I did a while back before I started doing YouTube. Yeah, I'm like one of those guys that like, you know, like those dudes that they'll put in like comedy shows that like has like a hat for because they have so many different jobs or because they do so many different jobs. Dude, I've done some of like damn near everything. Like I worked in sales. I've served food. I did dancing. I did like, yeah, I've done some of everything. So I grew up getting light. Yeah, dude, like, yeah, I was in the city a lot. I live right near the city. So yeah, like that was the getting light, Harlem shaking. that was what you did. That's what you did, you know? So God's angels have all the talents. So I'm dead. Dude, you know what though? If I'm being real with you, I was actually really bad at first. Like, to be honest, I was one of those people that like I put a lot of hours in, and I just got better over time. I like the first person to tell me I sucked at dancing was actually my mom. Like, and I like went into this headspace where I was like, I'm gonna prove her wrong, and I used to, at my house I grew up in, I used to sit in the mirror in this like really narrow hallway, and I'll just practice in the mirror every single day. You said you're going to try the Mekarashi game that just came out. It's actually fun. I have to take a look at it. That might be something I'll throw on the other channel though. Because I know for this channel, like we had the Godforge Alpha, which the Godforge Alpha was actually pretty fun, dude. I like what they're planning on doing with that game. But I'm definitely going to be playing Chaos Zero Nightmare when that drops, because that game, oh my god, that game just, it looks like what is the name of that freaking Fellow Moon or whatever that CN game is called that I was like not beta tested. I played on the CN version. It was the CN beta actually. Yeah, I was like, bro, it kind of reminded me of that a lot, and I was just like, bro, I'm playing Chaos Zero Nightmare because like it's like I want to be more into the AAA like open world games, but bro, they're just so like they're so taxing. They take up so much time, and for me, I realized that a lot of people actually like unless like they have PCs, they really can't play them. Whereas like those games are a little bit more realistic. Like you can play like Etheria, definitely more realistic to play because of the features that it has. Chaos Zero Nightmare is definitely going to be something that a lot of people can play. So I've just been kind of looking at stuff like that. He said hers not doing well, even though it's pretty unique and taking a new spin. Yeah, I mean to be honest, I feel like it's also part story game oversaturation. Like right, like I think that's kind of the thing. Like that's why I kind of even with all the stuff that's going on with like Etheria and the adjustments that they've made, I knew the game wasn't gonna just die just because the thing is that you don't have often games that come out that have forms of PvP, right? And I will say the PvP in this game is still fairly solid. Versus like when you look at like, okay, there's another game coming out like Wuthering Waves. It's another open world PvE. You know, I go around, slap things, I collect these flowers, and then there's like this other gimmick that I'm building into. So it might not be echoes, but it's gonna be I don't know, something else, right? Like so it's like that. It's those things that like I guess like yes, there's gonna be the individuals that love that genre and they're gonna play them no matter what. But I also feel like with that that genre, it's very time consuming. And also too, like realistically, people just don't have the space anymore unless again you're on a PC to have those games. Like if I'm being real, like is anybody in chat have Genshin Impact, WoA, Triple Z, and Honkai Star Rail on their phone at once right now? Like I'm actually really curious. And still have space to do other stuff on your phone. like like just out of curiosity, because I know there's some people that make that argument like I can play all four. I'm like, well, probably if you got a PC, but not on mobile. And there's a lot of people that don't have PCs still, right? Is I only have Triple Z on my phone, and it's the only game I like. Said I said no, you can't. So I tried before, it almost broke my phone. He said for when I go abroad. No, that's fair. I like for me, like even now, like I have games on my phone that I genuinely like will play. I don't have like any like graphic extensive games on my phone. The only one probably might be Etheria Restart, but that's about it, bro. Like it's not crazy because the thing is that like yeah, like it's just where are you getting this space from? Like get like bro, I know and oh yeah, I forgot it just came out. PX5, right? Bro, there's zero. Yo, that game came out. Yo, PX5 came out, or P5X came out being like 80 gigs. How you come out 80 gigs, bro? Like, that's insane. That's like you just out the box 80 gigs. It's like, yo, or 70, yeah, 70 gigs, bro. That's insane. That's insane space, bro, to come out like that. Like, and granted, don't get me wrong, I like the game, but it's just like, yo, that space is nuts. Like, and this is what I mean by like, that's like like I've played AAA games that are like that with high res, right? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they just like, bro, like, that's definitely a lot. So I need to uninstall something every time I update because of 50 gigs isn't enough space for a 5 megabyte update. Yeah, that's like, yeah, man. I just recently uninstalled like a lot of stuff. Like I was playing WoA, I was playing a couple of other things, and I like quit them like not too long ago. And not because I don't like the games, but like I said, it's just like too demanding of my time. And I really want to lean more into making sure I'm making like really solid content for Etheria. I'm like having a blast on Silver and Blood, and then I'm prepping for the other games I want to play. And that's like really what it is for me, is like I want to make sure that the games I'm actually investing my time into, I'm having the most fun. Because some people are just like, oh, like somebody was like, yo, your enthusiasm is different on Silver and Blood and in this game. And I'm like, well, I'm like, well, the thing is like we're kind of in this weird spot where like if we're being real, like most players weren't really and aren't really able to do much, right? Like you just kind of have your cycle, and you can't make a whole bunch of like do these runs like this types of videos because people are locked into builds. Like this type of game is it's intended that you invest time and you have to build things. And usually then you can have showcases and stuff like that. It's not going to be, not for a little bit, where we'll be able to have the immediate power like every time something new drops or especially on a free-to-play sense where something drops and you could just build it. That took a really, really long time. Like even when I played Dislight, like it took me about 1.5 years before I had that ability. Like I got to a point where in Dislight, anytime a new unit came out, I never had to actually farm EXP. I never had to farm. What's it called? That it was like the form of like what we have is it's called Starimon, but it was like our version of portraits. I never had to farm them because I played so much, it just accumulated over time. So that's gonna happen eventually in this game where you're gonna have most things built. So you just naturally are gonna have portraits, right? You're gonna have certain things built up on your account. Right now, it's kind of rough for some people because it's just so early. And so the only thing I was ever like having to really try hard to get was like skill ups. It was always skill ups, like more than anything. But hold on, let me actually see if anybody. I didn't. Okay. I don't think anybody sent. Hold on, let me try to find. Wait, guys, where'd you see that new ancestor post at? Because I don't see that. He said I need to replace my laptop. My homie not doing it right now, bro. I'm like literally replacing mine. I think my PC will be here. What day is it? On the 5th. So it'll be here on Tuesday. So my streams and my videos and everything should be much better. Because like I said, I've been running, which a lot of people didn't realize, but I've been running everything on a 3080, I think, is what I've had this entire time. So yeah, that should be fun. Wait, was it this GIF thing? I don't see yeah, I only see Bella. Was it in the Discord maybe? Yeah, I don't see what you guys are talking about. Well, let me find the Discord. Oh, is it W? Is it W? Is it W? Is his name WB or WG? I think. Hold on. Yeah, he's probably on the test server. They need to give me, yeah, WG, yeah. Yeah, they're about to give you my test server access because that's the only reason why I haven't been putting out like guides on builds and stuff because I haven't had access to the test server this whole time. Which is crazy. I won the contest for the damn game. Imagine. Imagine that. I actually won the contest. Oh, you DM'd it? Oh, okay. I was just about to open it. Hold on. Yeah, I actually I think he actually hold on. Let's see. All right, I'm close that real quick. Open Sesame. Okay. Close that. Sorry guys, this isn't in dark mode because this is on the Explorer. Let me see. Is he looking at a video? Oh, it might be CN then. Okay, it might be CN. So let me see. Yeah, it might be CN. All right, let me see. Yeah, it might be CN. Oh! Yo, that's what they're doing? Oh, just not, that's not even a skin? Oh, they had a stream? How did I miss the stream? Where this happen at? Oh, it might have happened on the Twitch.
Well, as a little kid showcase, and yeah, you can already see it. I let you enjoy it, and then we further.
He said I'm gonna let you enjoy it. I'm dead. Yo, I'm so dead. Oh, damn. We should just turn into... You just get a giant laser beam? Bro, wait, what? Nah, that don't make no sense. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, was that... Yo, first of all, her animation is kind of crazy. Wait, let me see something real quick because I got to be trolling. All right, there we go. No, that animation is ridiculous. Yo!
Alright, so as you're used to it, beautiful animations overall. I guess we could also turn the speed just to 0.25%. There's no audio to be scared of anyway. But no, the important part is, interestingly enough, you see right here, there's this one frame. You see this right here? Where it shows the ability.
They showed the skill.
Smart people take a screenshot of that, enhance it, and then translate it. And we are smart people. So let's go over what we know. She has a ult, so she's a full moon. She's a ult cost of 4. This is the ult ability, and then let's bring everything together. So the ult ability is actually right here. So you target a designated enemy, but as far as we can tell right here, you pretty much target everyone. And then you deal damage to this unit as well as the surrounding targets. You also increase the attack power. Keep in mind, this is machine translation, so it's not going to be exactly it. But while this skill is then active, normal attacks will automatically head towards the target.
Oh, it's WG, bro. He's behind me.
Basic attacker.
There he is.
Fleeting Valor Supremacy. Additionally, if the head
he's a good CC on Silver and Blood, bro.
Percentage and additional healing effect,
he's like he's a smaller creator that's like coming up right now. He's doing really well.
25%. So what we can see right here is not only do you have gigantic cast range, but also we can infer something of her passive. You see how even before the ultimate is triggered, she already has a shield. She already has a shield active without anything.
And she's not taking damage!
So that means she might very well get a passive shield. We have this incredible range. You see how it targets everything. Then you have this ultimate animation. And then she does the attack, right? She does the AoE. And then she summons 4 spirits behind her. And these ones then, as you can see right here, attack alongside of her and target the units that have been hit before. What you can also see is this sign.
Debuff.
This sign is a red version of the attack speed increase, which means this should be applying attack speed decrease to target Sid. So that's what we know about her. And now on top of all of that, what we also have is right here. This is the way her banner works. So you're gonna summon with your summons, and at the 10th summon you get an item. This item is another tempo. So you do a tempo, you get a free tempo. You do 50 tempos.
Yo, this game makes no sense. They just be giving you stuff, yo.
Once you get to 120, you get her guaranteed. This item, we still don't quite know what it is. It might be gear, might be an SSR selector. I can't tell you. And then this is an avatar. This is her class. So you're looking at a 4.
Oh, she's a freaking DPS range unit?
Marksman.
Yeah.
For Aeona, as well as obviously any of these visual assets. And that also leads me to quite comfortably say, I mean, look at what she's wearing. She is most likely going to be light armor. So you have a light armor ancestor, marksman, 4 cost, AoE hitting, basic attacking, attack speed reducing, self-shielding unit. As well as the
these devs don't care.
With the 33 summons, bringing that down to 90, plus the events bringing that down to 70, and then further events we'll have a look at that bring it down even less. So I would estimate you need around 50 to 60 of your own summons moving into this event. So let's go
People
there.
are going to have that for sure.
This is not on the official page, but this is on the Chinese side of things, and that is another 900 gems, plus probably resources and the like. And this is an event that starts for us on the 7th, and it's just 6 days of login, extra rewards on top of the standard login, so even more stuff. All right, so here we are. Let's fly through what we know, count the summons and whatever. So this is the way it looks like. It is the Ashes of Time. You have your Embrace. This should be the shop. Cosmic Singularity is the special stages, the 5 or up to 7, I guess. Tyler,
Yeah, it's gonna have another nightmare mode on it.
Is the event stages, and yeah, overall we go through this. You see right here. Here we have pretty much the puzzle stage. So okay, it might even be this is a puzzle. This is the event stage. This is the standard stage, and then you see at the top right it does say shop. So these are puzzle stages that we have to solve to also get further rewards on top of the other summons already. Here is the bazaar. You can buy hourglasses to enter more times into the event. Then we have the limited time sign in. It gives you a total of 10 summons in just 7 days, plus also another 300 gems, so you could count it as 11 summons. Then we have the skill reset event starting on the 7th, allowing you to fully reset and get all resources back to put.
Yo, bro, I'm sorry, bro. The way they're cycling this is why, like, so a lot of you guys might not realize this, but there's a lot of people that play Etheria and play this. And this is why people are so triggered, because they're playing this game and they literally said, yo, they told us day one, they were like, okay, like we have a reset on launch, but we're going to make sure that it's a constant reset event that's happening. And we're going to give you guys the currency to be able to reset your characters and stuff like that. And so it kind of gave you the confidence, like, okay, if I invest in everything right now that I'm investing in, if like, say something else comes out and you're like, I don't want to use this crap. You can take all the skill up investment, which, like, say for example, like what Crazy was saying was like, yo, I'm about to reset my Van Helsing. You can literally, because they use the same mats, take the mats from him and dump them into this new character that's coming out. So it's like they make it pretty seamless for you to be able to replace a specific class if a unit comes out that you don't want to use anymore. So like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, and then like the other thing is too, is that you can you can literally reset like levels without, like, so this is a special event that they have for skill ups specifically. But normally, if you want to just reset the levels on the character and get back all like the EXP and the limit break mats and stuff like that you put into a character, it only costs you 10 premium currency to do that. And you can do that as much as you want. And the craziest thing is that 10, like, and when I mean like literally 10 currency, like you got to think about the fact that like a pool in this game is, what is that? Is it 300? Or is it 100? I can't remember depending on the banner. I think it's 300. But yeah, so like it's like, I don't even know what the percentage of. It's like less than 1% of a freaking pool. So it's like I'm telling you, like 10 moon tiers is like nothing in this game. So yeah, that's like pretty insane, to be honest.
10 to invest into other characters. And I guess here we also have the skill icons of the other skills. Not that it is super relevant. Yeah, this Threads of Fate, so you're now also getting Chapter 18. Dutchman's Revenge, if you beat Chapter 18.
Yo, who's on Chapter 18? It gotta be Wells, because that's crazy.
You know what? Let me actually see if we can make this a bit bigger. This is kind of tiny. Nothing really changed.
Wait, what?
So
was that a skin?
Overall, let's see. Let's make sure we don't skip anything. We have the Night of the Hunt. Then we have the double supply, the double rewards from the 16th.
Yeah, and that's competitive content. I place like in the top 200 on that.
From the 16th to the 21st. The Ancestral Embrace and the way it works, we already talked about it. But basically, 1% chance every time you get an SSR to be Iona. If you don't get an SSR after 59.
Yeah, 18 is crazy. I'm like,
if you don't get a Stereoid Iona within 120 is the guarantee. Then we also have, the free summons we talked about. This is the spender event, you could say. If you spend points, be it on the dailies, monthlies, weeklies, packs, whatever, you'll then be able to get these coffins. And then, interesting. So, Vampiric Coffin seems to be Cecia, Bella, Geraint, Acapella, Stereoid, Iona, and Van Helsing specifically. Just these 6, or it might be everyone. And then you obviously also have the Ancestral Coffin to select one of the ancestors. This is the Geraint skin, so we're getting a male skin. Once
damn,
again,
bro!
unsure if we have an
they turned this man into
to buy it so we can find out.
This is a mummy.
Also, we have the White Wedding Ressa. who, as you can see again, has a voice line icon. So she'll have voice lines that are different. And then you have the boutique limited.
See, okay, but
alright,
this is what I'm saying, bro.
everything we know.
That's what I'm saying that we need to have in Etheria. Because bro, the game's only been out for a little over 30 days. We already got like, and I mean legit skins. We have right now currently there's 3, and one of them we got for free. So like it's like little stuff like this. Like I'm like, yo, you know how much money you can make from like legitimately having costumes? And the other thing is too, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very, very surprised to see them doing emphasizing Mel. Like the last 2 implementation of skins, one of the characters was at least a male. So the other one was Incendiary Argus, and then now it's Gilrain. That's, in my opinion, is a W, because it's like they're trying to cater to all aspects of their audience, not just the waifu lovers. I think there's a good amount of people that like Gilrain, because Gilrain kind of has like, he's just like that typical like pretty boy, long hair, like kind of, I don't want to say like he's like the super Giga Chad type, but he's definitely like, he's definitely like, he's like one of those dudes that looks like he like slaps like dragons out of the sky. So yeah, he's really good though. Yeah, that's it. Like, and so the characters in this game are actually really well done. So yeah, that's dope, dude. That's absolutely dope. Hold on, I'm gonna bring up one more thing. I'll show you guys my account real quick before I head out. Yeah, that event's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, dude. Cause honestly, like we are just coming out of a summer event, and this event is like they ain't letting up yet. They got us in the chokehold. They said you gonna be playing our game. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, I'll be there. I'll be there. And like I told you guys, the only thing that I've even really remotely have even cared about getting is cosmetics. Like, and that's the fun in the game, is like you really can just play it for the stuff that you like and just get that stuff. Let me see here. Let me swap the screen. Oh my God, you're loud. I need this to boot though. Okay, we get it. This is booting slow. All right, let me see. Boom. All right, bet. You were just working like earlier. Now you acting like this because we're in public. Like what are we doing here? As soon as we get out in public, now you don't want to work. All right, there we go. Boom. So I swear LD player has been going crazy recently. Yeah, I normally don't have any issues with it, but it's like now all of a sudden it wants to act up. It wants to act up now. And I don't know why. It might not let me show you guys. Said don't stream until you get your PC. Your stream struggles every now and again. Bro, honestly, it's not even just that. Like, I feel like it's like I gotta stream though. I stream because you guys be bored more than anything. Somebody said that to me earlier. It was like, bro, I'm bored. I need you to stream. I was dying. Yo, what's up, Kat? You said I did an LD for Moo Player. Bro, yeah, I need to get back on Moo Player. But to be honest, I think also too, because my specs were kind of boo-boo. It was making running Moo kind of not that great. Because like Moo definitely is way higher quality too. That's the other thing. I think, isn't that still the only emulator you can get to like 120 frames on the fresh rate? Like I'm almost certain of it. Because I think that was actually a selling point. All right, yeah, hold on. I'll show you guys what my account looks like right now. You said my specs were too boo-boo for Moo. Bro, hey, they low-key were. You said you got to swipe on that link I sent you, bro. I already did. I already did. Hey, listen, tell tell Sasha. I said thank you. Bro, cause like I was thinking about it. I ended up getting bro, I ended up getting the AMD because I was like, you know what? When you said, oh, she trying to do stuff at 8K, I was like, wait a minute, I can use this for my video production company because I plan on doing like more video projects and stuff like that. And I'd be trying to use like crazy shit like After Effects and stuff like that. Imagine, bro. Yo, will you believe on this 3080 on a gaming like laptop, I was using After Effects on it and it didn't blow up? Bro, I swear, I don't know how this computer was doing it. Like, I literally did stuff with After Effects on this computer. I don't know how. Like, I do not know how, bro. I was dying. I was like, yo, this computer is about to die on me. But you said, how is that possible? Bro, I don't even know. Like, I did stuff on this computer on After Effects. like, yo, I swear. And I was just sitting there like, because I didn't realize how bad the specs were on this computer. And then when I actually like looked into it, because like when I originally got this computer, I had my best friend go buy it for me because I just can't be bothered. So he just went and bought it and was like, yo, this is pretty good for your price range. And I wish at that time I would have just got a desktop, but also I was traveling a lot. So it kind of didn't make sense for me to have a desktop because I was moving around too much. So I would have never been at my computer. So, but yeah, this is what we got right now. But yo, that new character coming is gonna make that character in the they're trying to force people to get that character out of the guild. That's literally what that is. Cause how's the next ancestor gonna be a freaking marksman? And then the character that's in the guild buffs marksman. I'm like, I see what they're doing. I see what they're trying to do here. Like they're trying to force that. Now the Van Helsing, bro, I'm not gonna lie, crazy. You said your Lamia is my DeCarlo right now, bro. Lamia is nuts. I got her to this point free to play, which is like insane. Like I don't even know how I pulled that many copies of her, but that's base copy for 6. I pulled 6 copies of her, and that's when her banner was out. And then I pulled 1 extra copy. So one of the copies came from standard banner. Like I put her on my raid up, and I used some tickets and literally gave her, literally got another copy of her. So that put me at 6. But yeah, she's stupid strong. But yeah, dude, this event that's up right now, because that's what I was going to show you guys. I got a video I'm going to have uploaded in a little bit, probably after I end the stream, that actually like walks through like the event and how you can kind of use it to power boost yourself. But like the one thing you'll kind of run into an issue with is like the divine blood, bro. I had like 40k like off rip, and it's just because of how I farm the events. Like I'm got like, and the thing is like if you play these events right and you wait, you'll be good. I know there was some people that when the critical hour unlocked, they took like today I had probably about almost 100 and something, like 90 something of the currency to do runs. And I know there's some people that were blasting it on common, but the drops all double in Nightmare. So Nightmare is really where you get like crazy value for your account. So I know some of you guys started recently because of me. Yeah, make sure that you don't do any excess spending until you get to this part, right? Like when you're at Nightmare, that's where you blast everything. So if you're doing it while the event's out, you don't actually go in until that part of the event unlocks. So you do like whatever daily stuff you got, and then that's that. You say, yeah, you broke the cap with this event. Yo, bro, literally that's what I did today. I literally like, and it's crazy because you don't think that the power boost is that much, but like 140 to 141 is like 10 levels. Like that cap unlock is crazy. And it actually is required. Like that's why I was like preemptively saving for it, because the one bottleneck resource, and it's not an upfront like thing you notice, but it's actually the divine blood. So I think a lot of people look at like the Soli or the pure blood essence as the bottleneck. Oh no. Like that's gonna be something you can kind of just accumulate. Yo, that divine blood will have you tripping if you haven't been saving that, because it literally will come out of nowhere and be like, well now, because I don't know all the like incremental amounts that you need until I get there, but because I've been saving, I just kind of naturally had enough. But when I got to the 140 and it was like, yo, you need 7K of this mat, I'm like, yo, that's a lot. So I already had like 32 or something like that. So I did a little bit of farming from the event and it gave me the rest that I needed. And I did all 5 of my characters, broke the cap. And now everybody on my account is at that 141 right now. So it's really, 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 really good how they have the events. Like I would argue they have probably some of the better events in Gacha, like especially the second event. Is this our second event? Yeah, because Lamia was first and it was this event next. Yeah, so this event like definitely like was really good, and it looks like the next event is gonna outdo this event somehow. Which I like how you, I'm like, how are you guys like planning this? But hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah, DeCarlo had an event too. Yes, she had. So there's a third event. I think that this is the first one though with 2 parts. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they absolutely killed this event. I was just like, yo, especially this last like, or today when the nightmare unlocked, I was like, yo, this event is mad ridiculous. Because even now, like, there's 6 days left on the event. Now you cool in the next 6 days, and all you're doing is accumulating mats. The only thing I'm farming, because it's at a much higher drop ratio, is gonna be divine blood. Is it 4? Is it 4? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. It's gonna be divine blood, bro, because this dropping at a quantity of 4 per one run. And remembering that this is based off of like your AFK system stuff is really good. So yeah, bro. I mean, like, yeah, they cooked on this event. And then, like I said, the number of pools in the shop, I still haven't even cleared them all out yet. I just gotta wait for the next few days and I'll clear everything out. But I just got those little bit of, I think it's just these. Yeah, I just got one more pool here. No, she was saying she was gonna go outside. I told her I was gonna go with her. He said it's busy saying it's time, sir. No, she actually didn't say that. I actually say I'm saying it now. He said I cleared the shop completely. Yeah, I didn't. So I actually missed a day or two and still was able to actually do all the stuff that I needed to. So like I said, the way that they have it set up, it's like this game literally is, if you do the content, you get rewarded. Like, it's just how it works. So yeah, right now, dude, like, I think, what is my power at? It's like 60, 61. If I do like my highest team, it's almost 62. And I haven't really tweaked anything. I had to go back in today and like mess around with the gear. I finished what's it called, the Tomb of the Fallen. I beat Clive today. I blasted Clive today. Like, this fight, bro, oh my god. This is why I was saying, like, if you have Noah, just use Noah, bro. I was trying to use Hattie, but like Van Helsing and Noah together makes 0 sense. They just shouldn't even be together. But this man when I say blows up the map, bro, like he straight up blows up the map. Like, he's very, very strong. So for physical, I'm oh my god, my physical team is nuts.
Is quite interesting.
Yeah, this boss, I hate this boss, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like, cause he has, like, towards the end, he has this like thing he does where he will, like, kind of like, if you don't destroy the sword, he goes into a one-shot mechanic. So it's mad annoying. So I had to get the right positioning, but Noah, bro, man. Let me see, I actually wanted Van Helsing, but whatever. Like, bro, all that blood that just sprouted up, that's him blowing up the map. You said you got to time the sword? Not with Noah. Not with him, brother. He don't give a damn. He be blowing. Yo, I'm telling you, he blows up. Like, when I say he blows up the whole map, bro, it's not even a joke. Let's see. I'll go heal. Probably, watch this. He's gonna go through this phase really fast too. Helsing, acapella. Yo, this is dead. I'm telling you, this is the phase from Path of Exile, bro. Oh, blow that up. Now if I mess up my timing here, I will die. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that sword blown up. Bro, that's how strong he is. I skipped the second sword. Like, I'm supposed to have 2 phases of that, and I skipped it. Like, he just straight lets you skip it. He's bad busted. And mind you, Van Helsing, I'm not gonna lie, is like, he's crazy consistent damage too. I think we're gonna blow up here. Boom. Yeah, and mind you, I have no dupes in Noah. He's in my transfusion. And I'll show you my skill ups on him too. And I'll show you the gear I got on him. Oh yeah, nah, you thought you was about to do that. Bro, I'm not timing, like, and that's the crazy thing. When I swapped him in, I like literally didn't have to time anything anymore. Like, he's that strong. So that's now my Clive is completely like completely slack now. And the crazy thing is that when the next difficulty I have to deal with is 15-8. So I got a little bit before I can even like worry about the next thing, but now I 100% that fight. So yeah, GG, G freaking G. But yeah, I was like, yo, this dude is cracked. But hold on, I'll show you mine. So this is why I was saying, like, if you can, like, out of all the transcendences, which I do have all of them, Noah out of the box, between him and Seth are probably like the most impactful in my opinion. Because I have Transcendent Amy, I got tons of like dupes into her. She's pretty good, but I would still use Bella over her, to be honest. Bella is a little bit safer. She's actually not even a little bit. She's a lot safer, even when you have a lot of when things are much stronger than you. She's a lot stronger too. So she's really good. But yeah, I only got mine at like 10k power. Level 3 on his ultimate, which is like no investment. 4 on his special, 3 on the basic. And then I don't even have him on like unique gear. This is all just like tier 7. So he's really strong. And this is with no dupe investment. And then I just got him on the Eye of Truth, which I invested a little bit more in that. He said something like, hey, stop dying, damn. Yo, Steph's heal is busted. She's really good. But yeah, dude, like, I mean, like I said, I got Transcendent Amy at like 3 dupes. She's good. She's pretty strong, but Bella just has a lot more coverage because she has those 2 puppets that come out. And if you use her ult, she has the 3rd puppet that come out. So like nothing ever like directly touch her. Everything touches Amy, and she can self-heal, but like sometimes it's not enough self-healing to keep you alive. But yeah, Noah super busted, bro. He's really strong. And again, I'm only at like 60 something K power, so not crazy. But yeah, guys, I'm about to head out. He said, wait, hold on. My bad, YouTube. I was like ignoring you guys like really hard. That was my bad. You said, who's the top 5 characters? Top 5? In my opinion, Van Helsing, Noah. If we're talking about damage, Noah, Van Helsing, what's your name is pretty good right now. Actually, I'm gonna just keep it general. Van Helsing, Noah, acapella. I'm gonna put Seth in there, and that last slot is kind of rough here. Lamia is busted if you really can build her, because the thing is like with Lamia, her damage is based around like how many units are out and how many bounces she has on them. But to be honest, I don't think I would put her in my top. Maybe for magic damage, but like overall, even Lemonade at base still, like, she just blows up stuff. My God. I'm gonna have to give it to, I feel like Lorelei is really, really good. So I only got really a solid 4 for you right now, because it's like kind of mixed with a couple of units that I feel like different reasoning would give them that slot. Because Starry-Eyed Iona is really solid. Seth, I definitely think is really good. But yeah, like undoubtedly, like just gods of the game, like Van Helsing, Noah, acapella. She's like the Lily of the game, basically, because she can heal and increase how much accumulation of blood soul you can get. So she can make it to where you can proc your abilities faster. So she's just by default one of the best units in the game, because there's no one else that does it how she does it. There's other units that can do it in like kind of in a self-sufficient way, but not like AoE, your whole team just is generating much better. And you notice the difference when she's not on the team comp. So yeah, I would say that. He said I had to use a selector. I know, said really worth it. Said Van Helsing's the only character that I really want on my account right now. Yeah, Van Helsing is like, it was like a weird part of my progression. And I guess because in the story, like there was like a little bit more of an emphasis on magic damage. So he kind of took like a little dip on my account for a little bit. But now he's back in play because I got him where I want him now. And so he's just nuts. But yeah, Lamia is like pretty good too. Like she's really, really good. But as far as tanks go, I gotta say Bella's pretty high up there, personally. Yeah, Bella's pretty high up there. Transcendent Amy is like right after her. I just think that Bella's coverage is just more safe than Transcendent Amy. Transcendent Amy is great, but even with Bella being able to like drop her ult anywhere, it's like a big difference. Whereas like Transcendent Amy's ult is like directional and it has to hit, and it only goes up to a certain vicinity. It's not really that great in a lot of scenarios. So Augustine is fun too. Yeah, he is. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out now. Ms. Zox popped in chat. There she popped in chat. She's like, what is he doing? He said Bella's best tank. Said all the tanks die too fast, in my opinion. Yeah, it depends on the investment too. Like I think in game, like when like Transcendent Amy's like really, really built, she's gonna be nuts. But I think it also can be said about Bella because she's not even fully skilled yet, and she just has so many things that keep things from touching her. So you don't have to worry about her directly getting touched and dying. So yeah, that's true. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head out, man. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Hope you guys have fun. Are we gonna be streaming tomorrow? Yeah, we actually are gonna be streaming tomorrow because we got the editor back in play. He's doing some stuff. I'm gonna have some videos going live on both the channels. And yeah, that's basically gonna be that. But all right, guys, take it easy. Be safe out there. Stay blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.